Signature win against an LSU team that wants to bounce back. Heartbreaking loss last week for the Bayou Bengals against Ole Miss. Historically good on offense, but historically bad on defense. Bob Wischusen here with Robert Griffin III. Chris Button is along as well, and RG3. There might not be one unit in college football today that is under more pressure to bounce back and play better than this LSU defense.
100%. You just said it right there. They've been legendarily bad the last couple of weeks. You're talking about a team that missed 30 tackles. This wasn't about effort. It was about physicality and getting the ball on the ground. This week, it doesn't get any easier with Luther Burden III coming in here. He's a yak monster, and they've got the #1 guy in pass efficiency and Brady Cook throwing the football for the Mizzou Tigers. We're going to see today who is going to be the real Tiger King in 2023.
Although riding the emotion so far this season, Chris Button, has been Brady Cook.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago, the last time they were in this building, Brady Cook's name was announced over the speakers, and he was booed by the student section. His head coach not happy.
It pissed me off when we booed our starting quarterback to start the game. That pissed me off. And he went out there and played his butt off for this university and this team. They need to get behind him. We need to get behind the young man. You want to boo me? Fine. You don't boo the starting quarterback. It's bull crap.
And ever since that moment, all Brady Cook does has win and play at an elite level. I asked him about that moment. He said it's tough hearing the students boo you. But my coach told me the same people that will boo you will cheer you. And let me did. When his name was announced over the Jumbotron, that student section was loud and proud.
Well, the Mizzou defense will begin, but RG3, it has to be tough to be a quarterback, especially these are still young men we're talking about here.
Oh, yeah.
Go through that roller coaster of emotions and come out on the other side the way he has.
Yeah, it's very tough, but at the end of the day, it's your job to go out and prove it with your play, and that's exactly what Brady Cook has done, and he has silenced all of his doubters. Now they're cheering his name.
LSU won the toss, and they will start with the football, electing to receive, and that means they will start with a quarterback in Jaden Daniels that probably should be getting even more publicity in terms of maybe the NFL draft or the Heisman race.
Oh, 100%. And the reason he's not in the Heisman race is because they have 2 losses early in the year. But this young man has taken the next step. You see him running right there, but he is now a pass-first quarterback. Last week against Ole Miss, he was on fire throwing that slot fade route, and he has truly put himself in the category of a top 5 draft pick at the quarterback position after this early season run.
#1 in the SEC in yards and touchdowns. Last season, 17 touchdowns for the year. This year, he already has 16. And they'll start on the ground with Logan Diggs. And Diggs is able to break free for a gain of 5 on first down.
You know, we talked with head coach Brian Kelly this week, and he told us the #1 thing they got to do is own the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. So expect Logan Diggs to get a plethora of carries so they can establish that early and often, and they love throwing the play action off of it.
Diggs again. Swallowed up. No gain on second down. It will be 3rd down and 5. A little pushing and shoving after the play was over. Chad Bailey getting into it up front for Mizzou. Christian Williams made the stop. And Brian Kelly said last week after the game, specifically about his defense, that was not up to our standard.
Yeah, and he meant technically, from a technique standpoint, physicality-wise, mentally-wise, they had too many busts. And it wasn't just the LSU standard that they came short of, but it's the standard that he's also brought in his coaching career as the winningest head coach of active coaches right now. The guy knows how to win. He's got to get it out of his guys.
4-man rush on 3rd down. Daniels well wide of Kyron Lacey. Tied up with Ennis Rakestraw. So a 3-and-out forced on the game's opening possession by Mizzou.
You couldn't ask for a better start right there from Mizzou. You come into this game and it's like, all right, we got to figure out a way to stop Malik Neighbors. We got to figure out a way to stop Brian Thomas Jr. and Jaden Daniels with his feet. And none of those guys got the ball. None of that came to fruition. They throw their first pass to Kyron Lacey. They kind of feel like they're bailing out that Mizzou defense by not attacking them with those superstar players.
Jay Bramblett, that's only his 11th punt of the season. And it will take a great LSU roll. It hops past Luther Burden all the way down inside the 15-yard line to the 13-yard line, 57 yards in all for Jay Bramblett. So now Brady Cook will take over, and boy, is he the flavor of the month at Mizzou. Helps when you've got the #1 receiver in the nation in Luther Burden, 644 yards. The second leading rusher in the SEC in Cody Schrader. He's a bit banged up today, though, so we'll see how he performs. But look at the numbers. An SEC record of pass attempts without a pick, tied for 11th in completion percentage, 15th in the nation in passing yards per game. And he starts deep in his own end. And they'll put it on the ground to begin. And there's some physicality up front. The Schrader is brought down for no gain on first down by Mason Smith. So an early response, the challenge put to his defense by Brian Kelly.
Yes, and Mason Smith is a guy that was, the brunt of a lot of criticism last week. He played 86 snaps. You don't want that for any of your defensive linemen. I don't know many D linemen that would be great at playing 86 snaps anyway. But the stretch zone of Mizzou is something that LSU is focused on, stomping it out and forcing them to throw the football more than they want to.
LSU has called their first timeout of the game.
Looks like a timeout called defensively for the moment by LSU, as we'll take a look at Three's Keys.
All right, everybody at home, Three's Keys this week. We got Paw Patrol. When facing Jaden Daniels, many defenses feel like they're in need of a rescue, but Missouri's defense has to contain him with their D-line staying in their rush lanes, and obviously when they have the QB spy, get him on the ground. Earn your stripes. This LSU defense has to earn them. They cannot live off the laurels of past LSU defenses. Last week against Ole Miss, they couldn't stop anything. This week, they have to own the line of scrimmage and make Missouri one-dimensional in the passing game and tame the beast. Both of these teams have 2 NFL wide receivers and a quarterback playing at a high level. The defenses have to find a way to steal a possession by creating turnovers, because that could be the difference in the game.
Well, they forced second down and 10, as floating out of the backfield is Mookie Cooper. Cook looks that way. There is Cooper with a stiff arm out close to the 25-yard line. And that looks to be good enough for a first down, a gain of 10 as Cooper floats out of the backfield.
More of the same from LSU secondary. A big cushion. Mizzou is going to take those easy completions and say, we know that we can get the yards after catch. LSU has to make a decision. Are we going to close the space and challenge these guys, or are we going to continue to play off and force them to matriculate the ball down the field effectively? Right now, Mizzou's taking those easy completions.
Some tempo, and Schrader dives ahead for a couple with Weeks in place of the injured Omar Spates once again. So the true freshman has been a really nice surprise, as well as he has filled in when Spates has been hurt.
Yes, he has. And Omar Spates is a really good player, and I know LSU's defense could benefit from him being out there more frequently. But I want you guys to also watch today a lot of the eye candy, I call it, the motions before Mizzou runs these plays. There's a reason, a rhyme and a reason for every single one of them, and they're trying to get the defense off balance.
Cook well protected. Up the seam in stride, getting loose is Burden. An ankle tackle might have saved the score. Andre Sam brought down Luther Burden, but not before he picks up 35.
And you'll watch Brady Cook's eyes go to the right and then comes right back down the middle. These are the matchups that they want. Luther Burden on anybody in LSU secondary. They love it.
Burden now in the slot right. Cook with a dump off. Schrader leaking out of the backfield. Good gain on first down for Mizzou. Out of bounds at the 34-yard line, a gain of 6. Greg Penn made the stop for LSU.
And Bob, you know, this Mizzou offense isn't the fastest that we've seen of tempo this year, but they did see last week. And they're going to try to get to the line of scrimmage and force LSU's defense to relive that same nightmare that they had against Ole Miss.
Jet sweep. It's flipped ahead. Burton with a first down, a flag down as well. Let's see. Weeks made the stop. Nope, no penalty marker. So it is a first down just outside the red zone.
Nice ballsmanship by Brady Cook. And then there's Luther Burden making Major Burns miss in the open field. Major Burns is a guy that really does a nice job of tackling and getting the ball on the ground in open space. But right there, he just was tackling air.
Play action for Cook. Again, well protected. Floats one for Weiss. Off his fingertips. And incomplete. Theo Weiss Jr. had it in his hands. Probably should have been a touchdown.
Probably. Look at this throw from Brady Cook. I mean, it can't be any better. I guess he's got to apologize for hitting my man in the hands. Hit him in the wrong place.
Theo Weiss normally very sure-handed, as he and Luther Burton are a heck of a 1-2 punch. Throw in Mookie Cooper as well. They can hurt you in a variety of ways in the passing game.
100%. And Theo Weiss coming over from Oklahoma, accomplished wide receiver. He is a guy that will be playing on Sundays. I know he wishes he had that one back.
Cooper circles in motion and set up the middle. It's Cody Schrader. Now, you are a big proponent of be who you are.
Yes.
Of making sure that if you're a tempo team, you play tempo. If you're not, you don't. But you like the idea of trying to maybe play copycat a bit if you're Mizzou off of the pace of Ole Miss last week?
I see what you did there with the copycat line. I like that, Bob. Yes, I do like it because, like I said, they do get to the line. They just don't run super fast, so it's not that much of a change for them to implement tempo.
Cook, he's going to try again for that matchup. Back corner of the end zone. And this time, Weiss is up to the task. Touchdown over Zy Alexander.
Oh, my Lord. You're going to see right here, it's just an easy free release go ball. And Brady Cook finds the Wi-Fi connection. The airdrops a beauty in there. Look at that moon ball, man. Theo, we said, all right, you got me the first time I dropped it. But the second time, I'm going to make sure it's a touchdown.
And Eli Drinkwitz looks like he's going to put a different kind of formation on the field and go for two. There goes Cook, looking for the pylon. Reaches the ball out. He broke the plane. It's 8-0, Missouri to start.
Look at how pumped up those guys are on the sideline, man. Watch this beautiful throw from Brady Cook to Theo Weiss Jr. Touchdown. And then they're letting them know that they came here and they're not playing no games.
If it's not one thing.
The Tigers and the Tigers today at Faurot Field. And Missouri with an 8-0 lead. Bob Wischusen, RG3, Chris Budden here. And unfortunately, if you're a Bayou Bengal fan, it must feel like their defense picked right up where they left off last week.
Oh, yeah, they're having major deja vu symptoms right now. And listen, we knew this Mizzou offense was dangerous. They're one of the best in the SEC. LSU has to wake up in a hurry.
The Nevis kickoff is a fair catch made by Caleb Jackson. Let's check in with Matt Barrett.
Big game, Bob. We've got some movements early on. Texas gets the ball first. Ewers picked off by Gentry Williams, and then Dylan Gabriel takes it himself. Boomer up 7-0 in this one. Also, after Ohio State tried to fake a punt deep in their own territory, they didn't get it. Talia Tagovailoa to Caden Prather, and the Terps up early 7-0 on the Buckeyes.
We'll keep our eyes on that one, see how long Maryland can hang in with the Buckeyes. If not pull off an upset, as Daniels, this time trying to do it himself. And he is pulled down after a gain of 6.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Jaden Daniels probably should have handed that one off. You know, a lot of times as a quarterback, when you know you can make plays, sometimes you bypass the read in some of those zone read situations and try to make the play. I know he wants to feel a part of the game, but still go through your reads and don't try to do it all on your own.
Joined in the backfield again by Logan Diggs. Lacey in motion. Daniels up the seam for Neighbors. Makes the catch, breaks a tackle. Malik Neighbors pulled down from behind all the way down to the Mizzou 30-yard line. And as Rakestraw eventually made the stop after 39 yards.
And you're going to watch Jaden Daniels. He's going to lift this ball over number 9, their middle linebacker, Chad Bailey, and Neighbors does the rest of the work. I brought up the fact that they hadn't got those guys incorporated in the first drive, and the first 2 plays are the 2 best players.
Dropped by Neighbors. Check our impact players.
Yes, the impact players for LSU are both wide receivers. 2 NFL guys, Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. You're going to see them moved all around the formation. And then for Mizzou, it's Tyron Hopper. He's going to have the enviable task of being the quarterback spy on Jaden Daniels on 3rd downs. Let's see how he can operate.
Right up the middle goes Diggs. Breaking tackles. He's got a first down into the red zone. It's like last week's game never ended.
They are bringing all the points with them, aren't they? That's what it feels like. It's certainly bringing the yards. Right there, Jaden Daniels fixed his mistake from the previous zone read, handed the ball off to Logan Diggs, and you see what Logan Diggs can do with it.
If you're an LSU fan, to watch Missouri go right down, they'll put 8 up to begin, and now see your offense come out and seemingly respond. That was really the theme all week, and kind of last team that had the ball won just about.
Exactly. LSU's offense has maturity. They cannot focus on what's going on with the defense. They still have to play at a high level.
Daniels flushed, flag down, incomplete. We'll have to check the penalty marker. Tyron Hopper put the pressure on Daniels and may have drawn a hold.
Holding, offense, number 3. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
So Logan Diggs called for the penalty. Let's check in with Chris.
Yeah, Bob, talking with Brian Kelly before the game about what this offense needs to do, the pressure that surrounds them, of needing to score every time they get the ball. And Kelly said, listen, Jaden Daniels is as mature as they come, calm, confident. He knows he has to go out there and perform at the highest level, but we can't have him thinking about his defense. He just needs to focus on himself, and it's that maturity from growing here from last year.
Hard to do, though, when you watch your defense give up 700 yards and 52 points. Here comes a blitz. Again, avoiding the sack is Daniels. Takes off down the sideline. Daniels down to the 15, inside the 10. It looks to be good enough for a first down. Jalen Carlisle's made the stop. Let's see if it is a first down. He got right to the line again.
Oh, my Lord. We always tell those DBs and those linebackers, you're not going to get us. And Jaden Daniels, he's got more moves than a military family out there, moving and grooving. I promise you now, that run right there will string together a bunch of good plays for him because he feels like he's a part of the game.
It is second down and a half yard at about the 7-yard line. Cutting it back and losing his footing was Daniels on the zone read. And that looked to be right at the line of scrimmage, so it will be 3rd down and short.
Yeah, right here, Darius Robinson does a nice job of playing both. He closes down on the run to the running back, and then he hops right back outside to play the QB. If you're a quarterback in this situation at home and you're thinking zone reads, let that one go. The running back is basically paid to take those hits and run downhill. Let him do it.
They bunch it up on 3rd down. Diggs right up the middle. He has a first down. He gets a push. He's not done yet. To the 5-yard line. It is 1st and goal, LSU. Eighth play of the drive for the Bayou Bengals. Coming up on 6 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
And this is important for Mizzou's defense. They call them 4-point plays that hold LSU to a field goal here. Can play big dividends later in the game.
Flag thrown. Jaden Daniels is pointing at the Mizzou defense.
Disconcerting signals. Defense, linebacker had clapped. The penalty is half the distance to goal. Remains 1st down.
So you can't bluff and act like you are the snap count guy if you're on defense. And that was the call against Missouri. So that goes half the distance. Diggs inside the 2-yard line, down to the 1.
I don't know. We might have to get Matt Austin in on that one because it looked like the linebacker was clapping to get his guys lined up, not clapping to try to emulate the snap.
Second down and goal from the 1-yard line. Taylor in motion. Diggs again, diving behind the 3 tight ends to the right. It looks like Missouri has him stopped shy of the goal line again. Well, if this eventually ends up as a touchdown to end this drive for LSU, Missouri will have made them earn it.
Yes, they would. Look at this. Look at the pad level of the Missouri Tigers. When you're a D lineman and you get that offensive lineman to stand straight up like that, you're moving the line of scrimmage back. And that's exactly what Brian Kelly talked with us about for his O-line. He wants them to play with better pad level. Right there, they didn't.
There is a flag down as well. Johnny Walker Jr. for Missouri injured on the play. And we'll have to check the penalty marker.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 15. The penalty is half the distance to the goal and includes an automatic 1st down.
That's a tough penalty if you are Missouri. Unsportsmanlike conduct, obviously the yardage, you're at the 1-yard line. It's a 1.5-foot penalty, but it's a fresh set of downs now at the goal line for LSU.
Yeah, so all that good work that they did to keep them out of the end zone and put them in a 3rd down and goal, you're going to see him right there on the ground. They're laying on him. Oh, he hit him with a kick to try to get him off him. Needless to say, you can't do that.
Yeah, that's tough, though, if you've got all of that weight laying on your injury.
That is also true.
Just got to get off of me.
Just got to stay calm.
But that penalty that they call against Johnny Walker Jr. puts the ball basically just about touching the goal line and a 1st down and goal for LSU.
Yeah, he gets a double whammy there, right? You see him right there on the sideline. We hope that he's okay, but he gets the injury and he gets the penalty that puts his defense behind the 8 ball, giving the offense a fresh set of downs.
So a full house backfield.
Looks like we might be getting some brotherly shove here.
It might be. Jaden Daniels with Diggs behind him. There is the shove. Forward momentum at the goal line. No signal as of yet. They have to untangle the pile. An official on the near side seems to have marked LSU short.
Wow.
Well, it certainly looked like Daniels got the shove necessary to break the plane, but no signal. It is a goal line stop to this point for Missouri. It'll be 2nd down and goal from the same spot.
I don't really know what the ref is seeing there. Well, Jaden Daniels is in pretty easily.
Same play, same push. Same pile.
Oh,
A flag thrown.
oh, a helmet?
But the ball comes out as well.
He should keep running.
Dalen Carnell emerged from the pile with the football.
Oh, wow.
Really gets the runner was short of the goal line. Personal foul, face mask, defense number 6. The penalty is half distance to goal and includes an automatic first down.
So another
Number
personal
5
foul.
can remain in the game as this helmet came off as a result of the foul.
Called against Missouri at the goal line. And another fresh set of downs for LSU.
Oh,
With Daniel's face mask being pulled and the helmet being ripped off.
yeah, they are definitely catfighting in there right now. I mean, I love the energy and the tenacity from the Missouri Tigers. But you got to play within the rules, and ripping guys' helmets off is certainly not within the rules, Bob.
So for the third time, it is 1st and goal, but now it looks like they're going to abandon the brotherly shove as they have Thomas and Neighbors and Lacey all on the field. So LSU will spread Missouri out at the goal line rather than load up. Lacey in motion. Zone read, leaping over the pile into the end zone. Logan Diggs. And finally, it's an LSU touchdown.
Bob, I'm laughing because it's always funny to me when guys dive into the end zone or try to jump over the pile when they don't really need to. Logan Diggs could have just he could have walked in the end zone, honestly, but he just wanted to get his Reggie Bush on.
11 plays, 75 yards in 6 minutes and 17 seconds. And the third time was a charm. Third time on 1st and goal. Finally, LSU is able to get the ball in the end zone.
You want to talk about a nice response, right? Eli Drinkwitz gets those guys going. They go for 2. They get it. Jaden Daniels, all you got to do is come out and operate your offense. And we saw this last week, Bob. He had the fumble early in the game in the first quarter. Came back the next 4 possessions and led them to touchdowns. And right here, he leads his team down the field to get right back in the thick of it.
ESPN College Football is presented by Zales, only at Zales, the Diamond Store.
Got it. Well, these teams last met October of 2020 in a shootout, 45-41. Missouri would win it. Eli Drinkwitz, his first win at Mizzou. As we take a look at today's road test, brought to you by Goodyear. For the Tigers, 10-1 in their last 11 non-home games that have kicked off at noon. The only loss in that run, that loss to Missouri.
Yeah.
When Connor Bazelak's go-ahead touchdown late in the fourth quarter proved to be the difference. Fair catch called for. So Mizzou will have it at their own 25-yard line. Down to Chris.
Bob, a new addition down here on the LSU sidelines. 82-year-old Pete Jenkins is coming out of retirement to work with the defensive line. His third stint with LSU. The 6 different head coach he's worked under, Brian Kelly, said I brought him in as a consultant to really work on tackling, not necessarily game plan, but I have been watching him on the sidelines. He has been heavily involved in talking with that defensive line.
Well, when your defense gives up 317 yards on the ground last week, I guess you go to the bullpen for Pete Jenkins, and we'll see if he has an impact this week. Cook to the air. Burton. Nice shake and bake. Spanning out to midfield is Luther Burton.
And you know, Bob, that's part of the problem with guarding Luther Burton. He's coming out of the backfield on this one. Brady Cook's not just staring at him. He's holding the linebacker in the middle of the field and getting it to him and allowing Luther Burton to have the space that he so craves, because that's when he's at his best. Their coach, Kirby Moore, the offensive coordinator, said the play is just starting when Luther Burton gets the ball.
Already 3 catches, 70 yards for Burton. He's the motion man, but the ball is on the ground, and it looks like Nathaniel Pete scrambles over to keep it with Mizzou.
Woo! Seen this before. Quarterback takes his eyes off the ball just before he gets it, but what hustle right there by Nathaniel Pete, beating out Weeks to get that football. Can't ever say that this game doesn't mean something to these guys, because they know the football is the program.
LSU shows blitz. It looked like Brady Cook saw it coming from Harold Perkins, and now he is changing the play. 7 on the play clock. If nothing else, changing the protection. Perkins still coming on the blitz. Seam shot, climbing the ladder is Burton. He's got another. Boy, is that great quarterback play, recognizing and then finding your best target?
I mean, you should want to throw it to this guy. Little double move, locates the football, and climbs the ladder. That back shoulder catch is one of the easiest and hardest balls to get on the same page with your quarterback. These two are certainly in with him.
Cook, play action, but overthrows Theo Weiss. Oh, that catch a moment ago from Luther Burton worth another look.
I want you to watch. Look how high he puts this on the back shoulder, allows his receiver to go up and make that play. But Luther Burton III's body control in that moment, that is an underutilized or underappreciated skill for wide receivers. It's not just about running great routes. It's not just about being fast. It's about being able to change direction in the blink of an eye and make those types of catches.
And making him a slot receiver has changed everything this year for Luther Burton, according to Eli Drinkwitz and Kirby Moore. Play action for Cook. Over the middle. That's another first down to the 21-yard line. This time he finds the freshman Daniel Blood. That's his first catch of his Mizzou career.
I'm telling you guys, watching Brady Cook work across the formation right now, he is going through 1, 2, 3, sometimes getting to 4, and it doesn't matter who the receivers are right now. Because you just said Daniel Blood just caught his first pass as a Mizzou Tiger. Who would have thought it would be in a game against LSU?
They'll run it with Schrader. Breaks free. Into the end zone for a Missouri touchdown. 2 possessions for Missouri, 2 touchdowns, and they push their lead right back up to 8. And RG3, they are making it look very easy.
Yes, they are. Cody Schrader's going to shred the defense, gets into the end zone in a hurry, and the Mizzou Tigers are making LSU relive the nightmare from last week.
Oh my, turn them on the it's showtime. Got their noses up.
Student sections across the country are competing to be the Taco Bell Lip Balm Student Section of the Year. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more. This is an event game in Columbia, and that student section started filling up over 2 hours before kickoff. They were ready to rock, and it's been fun to be in that student section so far as Missouri has the 8-point lead. Caleb Jackson from the goal line. He's got some blockers out in front. A little dead leg to the sideline. Flag throw all the way out to the 45-yard line. If it stands for Jackson, a good return, but it might be coming back. That looks like the foul occurred at the 30-yard line.
There's the return, holding, return team number 25. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, LSU.
Let's check in again with Matt Barry.
You have an entertaining game. We also have an entertaining game at a state fair. After Oklahoma picked off Quinn Ewers again, Texas blocks the punt on the ensuing possession for a touchdown. Malik Muhammad comes up with it. We're tied at 7.
Well, a good game at the state fair. Fried Oreos as well for Herbie and Fowler, which makes this play-by-play guy jealous, to say the least. Papa Shoes at RT3, Chris Button. And now Jaden Daniels looks to respond again. 4-man rush. And he'll go down. Eventually, the pocket squeeze. Darius Robinson with the sack at the 16-yard line.
This is what we call a coverage sack. Jaden Daniels going through his reads, but because they're dropping so many guys into coverage and staying in their rush lane, something that we talked about in the keys, they contained him and didn't allow him to be a free runner down the field.
Up the middle, Josh Williams. A former walk-on. By the way, as is Cody Schrader. So great stories on both sides. Former walk-ons at tailback for their respective teams. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter, it appears, as Jaden Daniels going to walk over to the sideline and discuss 3rd down and 6 to begin the second quarter. Missouri scored on both of their offensive possessions in the first quarter. Brady Cook off to an 8-for-10 start with a touchdown pass as well.
A car like this shouldn't exist. Something this big, this luxurious, shouldn't move like a Mazda. And yet,
welcome back to the SEC on ESPN. Beautiful day for football here in Columbia. ESPN College Football presented by Zales. Set for the start of the second quarter. And LSU facing a 3rd down at their own 24-yard line. Flags everywhere.
False start. Offense number 27. 5-yard penalty remains third down.
So now it will be third down and 11. And our next UFC Fight Night on ESPN Plus tonight from the Apex in Las Vegas. Highlighted by our lightweight main event. Rising star Grant Dawson takes on the King, Bobby Green. The prelims start at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. Followed by the main card at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Bob Wischusen, Robert Griffin III, Chris Button. Here at Faurot Field. Jaden Daniels looking at a 4-man rush on third down. Out of the pocket again. Finds a check down. Mason Taylor right at the line to gain. He tumbles to the deck. And let's see where they mark him out. It looks like they'll mark him out 3 yards shy. He must have stepped on the sideline as he was being cut down by Chris Abrams-Drain.
Yeah, and you're going to see Mizzou's defense does a nice job changing the picture on Jaden Daniels. He tries to scramble, realizes there's no hole, gets it over to Mason Taylor to give them a decision here to go for it or not on 4th down, and they've decided to go ahead and punt, which I think is a smart one. Your defense is reeling. You want to make Mizzou have to travel as far as they possibly can to go score.
Coming into today, LSU was only averaging 2 punts per game. This is their second here in the first half for Bramlett. And Burden watches it float out of bounds at the 42-yard line of Missouri.
Wow.
That's great field position for Mizzou. They'll mark it out at the 43. Let's get our Aflac trivia question in. Aflac. It's Battle of Tigers today. LSU and Mizzou share the Tiger mascot. How many other FBS teams also are Tigers?
Yeah, Bob, I don't know that answer. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well,
I will throw out some guesses here in a little bit. But Tigers is a favorite mascot for a lot of teams out there.
There are several others that also are the Tigers at the FBS level.
Thank you for the tips there.
Well, I'm doing what I can to make you look good. Play action for Cook. Flips it in the right flat. Burden steps out of bounds after a gain of 3. He's looking for his 5th consecutive 100-yard game. And remember, Luther Burden was the #1 wide receiver recruit in America 2 years ago, according to our ESPN recruiting gurus. But he had kind of for a wide receiver, a pedestrian freshman year, 45 catches, 375 yards. But the ability to put him in the slot this year, according to the coaches, he's exploded.
Oh, we'll talk more about that after this play.
Cook. This time it's Mookie Cooper. Spun down at the 31-yard line of LSU. Major Burns made the tackle. That's another 23-yard chunk.
And even in the same breath, talking about Luther Burden III, right there, Greg Penn III, he shaded towards Luther Burden. They had double coverage on him, and that opens up massive holes in the defense for the rest of the receivers to go out there and eat. But it was the Dominic Lovett transfer into Georgia that allowed this offense to move Luther Burden III into the slot and be able to get him the ball more consistently. That's why you've seen him just explode and lead the country in receiving yards.
They fake the wide receiver screen and now check it down to Burden. And he's brought down for a loss of about 1.5 yards. Good play by Whit Weeks. But why Burden in the slot has resulted in this explosion statistically for him this year?
Yeah, I mean, football has moved more towards a slot-driven league. When you put a guy singled up to the boundary by himself, it's easy to double cover him. It's easy to try to find brackets for him. But when you move them in the slot, they're obviously closer to the quarterback, closer to the ball, and there's more space. And Luther Burden is a space eater. He's a guy that in space, he operates at a high level. He understands the coverage, and he also has that yak ability that we've seen from guys like Deebo Samuel.
Play clock at 5. Cook is set. And Schrader finds a lane and gets dragged down at the line of scrimmage. Good tackle that time by Greg Penn. Down to Chris.
And Luther Burden, highly recruited, but decided to stay in state. A St. Louis guy wanting to come here because of the pride of the state. And he didn't do what is popular around college football now, is when a team doesn't play well, you go and transfer. He stayed. Eli Drinkowitz said it said a lot that was a guy from this state who wanted to stay and represent the state and what it means going forward for recruiting.
And Mookie Cooper, Brady Cook on that list as well. Eli Drinkowitz said if you want to win in the SEC, you have to prove that the best players in your area are going to stay home. You can't recruit against this conference trying to go long distances to do it. Cook, back shoulder, first down. Tyler Stevens Dreads a tackler down inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line to make it 1st and goal.
And we talked about what Luther Burden can do for the rest of these guys. Well, he inspires them to make plays like that. We just saw Burden make a catch on a previous drive, back shoulder, and right there, the big 6'6", 243-pound tight end, Tyler Stevens, does the same exact thing. Luther Burden III is giving the rest of these skill guys one-on-one matchups, and they're winning them right now.
Burden off the field for 1st and goal. A little flip in the right flat. Brett Northleaf, the freshman. Touchdown.
It's funny you mentioned Luther Burden III not being on the field because everyone on LSU's defense thought it was going to be a run play, and that's what allowed Brett Northleaf to outflank the defense and get that touchdown.
3 possessions, 3 touchdowns for the Missouri offense.
Oh, yeah. This is not what LSU's defense wanted.
Flags down on the point after attempt. Again, this is only the second 5-0 start for Missouri since joining the SEC back in 2012. In 2013, they began 7-0, and they got to the SEC championship game.
False start, offense number 80. 5-yard penalty, remains the try.
And in a year where certainly in the West, things seem wide open. Missouri will have their shot at Georgia later on this year in their division as well. That certainly seems to be the measuring stick, but next week, a road game against Kentucky is looming, with Kentucky and Georgia getting together as well. So this is about as hard as I think it's been in a long, long time to predict the SEC.
Oh, the SEC is wild right now. And Eli Drinkwitz told us that this is a game that is a measuring stick for them because, yes, it is LSU, but they're not going to make them bigger than they are. They believe they belong, and their team motto this year has been something to prove. And so far in this game, they're proving that they belong in the conversation in the SEC.
Brady Cook, 13 of 15, a couple of touchdowns, and it's a 2-touchdown lead. 3 Missouri drives, 3 touchdowns. They've got the 2-score lead. RG3, what is wrong with this LSU defense?
Well, the problem for LSU right now is their secondary is the weakness of their defense, and they need to put more guys in the box so that they can smother out the running game and play man coverage so there's not as much space in the defense for guys like Luther Burden III and Mookie Cooper and Theo Weiss Jr. to go make plays. But that's not, it's counterintuitive for LSU because they're so weak in the secondary. They're kind of.
You know, it's not counterintuitive going to Matt Barry, which we need to do now.
It's wild.
Big game, Bob, the toss of the decade. AT&T 5G Multiview, keeping you connected with what's going on across the networks today. Oklahoma, Texas, the headliner. 7-7 there, end of the first. Robert Griffin III, as you were, sir.
Well, Daniels, as he was, and continues to be. Breaking free. And getting ripped down was Brian Thomas Jr. Right about at the first down line of the game.
Yeah, nice little bootleg, getting Jaden Daniels out on the edge, let him see the field, using his legs. And Brian Thomas Jr. just got, when you get into traffic, man, hold on to that football with 2 hands. He's really lucky that he was near the sideline.
And as Rakestraw raked it out and makes it 2nd down and 1. Malik Neighbors in motion. Piled up behind the line is Jaden Daniels, Johnny Walker Jr. He was able to shake off the earlier injury and bring down Daniels short of the first down line to gain. Makes it 3rd down and a foot.
And it was another one of those zone read type plays for Jaden Daniels there. But what Missouri's defensive line is doing is they're playing behind the line of scrimmage. That means they're not just knocking back LSU's offensive line, but they're knifing and cutting through them. Because right there, Johnny Walker Jr. was on the backside of the play, and he hit Jaden Daniels in the back.
Diggs gets a push. He's got the first down. And I heard Chris earlier talk about the conversation that she had with Brian Kelly, pressure on Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
No, it's not because the defense is giving up all these yards. He has to play his own game. He's been great. It has to, as a quarterback, I would think, because you played in this exact situation going into games knowing you had to score a boatload of points to win. It has to mentally wear you down, I would think. As Diggs goes up the middle and picks up about 5.
Yeah, Bob, you're referring to that Baylor defense that was one of the worst.
Well, you said it yourself that there was a time where, as an offense, we knew we had to score 60 a game at Baylor to give ourselves the best chance to win. You're playing without a net if you're an offense in that case.
100%, and we'll get more to that after this play.
Daniels out of the pocket, across his body, and Malik Neighbors has a first down.
Yeah, so being at Baylor, we knew that when we came off the sideline, don't even look at what's going on the field. Let's focus on how we're going to attack this defense on the next possession, and I mean for the entirety of it, because it can be demoralizing as an offensive player when you know every single time we get the ball, we have to score or we're not going to win the game.
Daniels, again extending the play, gets a downfield block, and stays in bounds and gets planted by Rakestraw, but did pick up 6 on the scramble.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels, nice job on the scramble. And right here, it's like, man, just go out of bounds or slide or do something, because Ennis Rakestraw Jr., he is salivating at the opportunity to hit the quarterback. You know, all offseason, these guys don't get to hit the QB. They don't get to hit him in practice. So when they get in the game, the second they get a chance to take a shot at the QB, they are taking it.
No red jerseys. Blitz off the edge, right up the gut, goes Logan Diggs. They slip him through traffic, beating the blitz. Tyron Hopper made the tackle, but 12 yards for Logan Diggs.
And I can tell you right now, Bob, Mizzou's defensive coordinator, Blake Baker, he knows that LSU wants to throw the football. They've got 2 NFL wide receivers out there, but they have to stay committed to the running game. Right now, they're too often trying to go to the zone read. Logan Diggs is the best player on the field for them right now with the way that he's executing. Keep leaning on him until the rest of your offense starts getting going.
Right back to him. Well, he runs hard, doesn't he? The Notre Dame transfer, who is only a couple of hours away from getting his Notre Dame degree. And he didn't immediately follow Brian Kelly to Baton Rouge when Brian Kelly made the move from South Bend. And Coach Kelly said that's exactly why, because to Logan Diggs, getting that Notre Dame degree was the reason he went to Notre Dame in the first place and meant a lot to him. And he will have that opportunity once his eligibility is done with football. Daniels drops. Brian Thomas Jr. started to take his eyes upfield before he had the football. Now it's 3rd down and 6.
And yeah, as a wide receiver, you know that you got to look it in, tuck it away, and don't get your eyes away. This is part of that effect of, hey, we're down 22-7. I know I got to go score. I'm going to go try to make the play right away. Secure the catch first and then make your move. This guy's way too talented to be having plays like that happen.
10th play of the drive. Thomas in motion. Daniels a run for it. Cuts back. Short. It'll be 4th down and 1.5 yards. And boy, the LSU defense, you would think, as tough a time as they're having, almost compels the offense to go for it here.
Oh, 100%. But I got to say, what a tackle right there by Travis Johnson, knifing through what looked like a convoy that was going to be an easy 1st down.
Missouri was trying to substitute. LSU was not going to let them do so, so Mizzou spends a timeout.
Our oldest son, Stephen, had been stationed in the Marine Corps. He came home on a visit.
We hadn't seen him for so long.
Stephen said, I haven't had a Chick-fil-A sandwich in over 3 years.
It was late at night.
We were closing and the phone rings. Stephen explains his situation and I told him to come inside and we were going to get him whatever he would like.
Stephen gobbled up that sandwich in like 2 bites. It's been a while since we've seen him.
We miss him.
We brought a care package for Steve.
I'll take that.
Oh my goodness.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance and I saved hundreds. With the money I saved, I started a dog walking business. I was a bit nervous at first, but then I figured it's just walking, right? Oh. No, it's just a bunny. Calm down.
Topia. The new titanium iPhone 15 Pro on us, no trade-in needed. Enjoy unlimited wireless and the latest iPhone every year for $60 a month.
You want to be like me? Well, you can't, because there's only one Prime. But you can recover like me. Always. Every day. They can help you recover from exercise to keep you Prime. You want to stay Prime, right?
Dude, this thing is awesome. I know. I bought it using the Cash Rewards card from Navy Federal Credit Union. I get cash back on every purchase. Honestly, I can't imagine where I'd be without them. One word. Got it. Reeling in fish. No. Eating fish. Fish in the sea? Movie.
Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Private jetting in the night sky. My man hand glide by with my fried rice. Right? What could you not love? Buy the slice on the side of the hot tub. GRUBHUB.
Back with the Aflac Trivia answer. All right, all of you at home, you can't cheat the way Robert Griffin III is about to. LSU and Missouri share the Tiger mascot. How many other FBS teams also share the Tiger mascot?
I'm not going to cheat, so I'm going to go with the lucky number 7. I'm not cheating.
You looked at this card. Now you're making up a different guess just to make yourself look honest. 3 others is the answer. Auburn, Clemson, and Memphis for a total of 5. As 3 of them are in the SEC.
Oh, look at that.
So big play here after the Missouri timeout defensively. 4th down to keep the drive alive for LSU. Thomas drops in motion. The toss to Diggs. Racing to the edge with a flag there. He got dragged down potentially by the horse collar as well as Rakestraw made the stop, but the flag was thrown before the tackle.
It's going to be holding on the wide receiver there, Brian Thomas Jr.
Holding. Offense, number 11. 10-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
That probably puts LSU in a spot where they'll have no choice but to kick a field goal.
100% going to have to kick a field goal. But watch, Brian Thomas Jr. is going to motion inside. They're trying to get him to block. That's him right there. They're going to block. This safety is trying to come off the edge, and he just grabs him by the horse collar in the front. And you can't do that. Now, these guys are really good at catching the football, but blocking in these crucial games is just as important. And right there, he hurt his team.
Boy, in a game where your defense keeps on giving up 7s and 8s at times, and now you have to settle for 3. So the penalty helps Missouri get the stop. From just inside of 49 yards for Damian Ramos, this would be a career long. It will reach, and it is good. So Ramos puts 3 on the board, a new career long for the redshirt sophomore. But Eli Drinkwood said before the game, 7s versus 3s could be the difference. That time, Missouri gets a stop.
Some people just know that's not going to fit. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate.
That's not going to fit.
What's that?
You need another 4 inches.
You work here?
No, I just...
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Trade for $5 bites at Dave & Buster's. You know you want to.
Martin Scorsese has brought you some of the most groundbreaking movies of all time.
I was sent down from Washington to see about these murders.
See, what about him?
See who's doing it.
On October 20th,
Your uncle. You scared of him?
every twist, every turn is only the beginning.
I ain't got no nerves. None at all.
Killers of the Flower Moon. Rated R. Only in theaters October 20th. Get tickets now.
You know that feeling of having to rewash dishes that didn't get clean? I don't.
Cascade Platinum Plus with double the Dawn grease fighting power and double the scrubbing power for a no rewash clean and a cabinet ready shine. Upgrade to Cascade Platinum Plus. Dare to dish differently.
Outback steak and made combos are becoming as popular as our bloomin' onion. Just look at all these new limited time combos like steak and hot honey chicken or filet and snow crab. Mate, these bonds and new combos start at just $16.99 for a limited time only at Outback Steakhouse.
Heisman contending quarterbacks duel in a crucial Pac-12 showdown.
Top 10 collision of unbeaten teams.
Oregon, Washington, next Saturday on ABC.
It's an opening night triple header on ESPN and ESPN Plus.
We are back with a look at our SEC Spotlight presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. Alabama in College Station, the winner, trying to take control of the West as the only unbeaten in SEC play. What a big game tonight on ESPN at 7 Eastern. Kentucky and Georgia. The winner of that game will get to 3-0 in the Eastern Division. And Missouri will be lurking right behind in second place if they can hold on and beat LSU. And boy, just keep getting the ball to this guy.
Oh, yeah.
He does good things.
He does great things. And in the slot, he has been working. You see him getting over the top of the DB right there. Then in this one, little fake pitch to the running back, get him on the edge. Now that counts as a pass play because it was a pitch forward. They want to get the ball in his hands in as many ways as possible, and this is why. He can make these types of plays where he goes up, spectacular catch, lets the DB know you can't guard me. And they haven't been able to guard him all day long.
And now he's in motion. Cook tried to check it down to Burton and airmailed him. So it will be 2nd down and 10 as we check with Chris.
Bob, we covered this LSU defense last week, and when I was watching them on the sidelines, it was more shell shock, no one talking. This game, a lot of in-game adjustments, but more frustration. The coach is trying to come up. This is fixable. Let's stay positive. Difference in last week down in Oxford, this week in Columbia.
Well, they're trying to get their first stop, as they have not been able to force Missouri to punt yet. Jet sweep, Burton. Lifted up, lands on his feet, and picks up 5. It will be 3rd down and 5, so here is an opportunity for LSU to get a stop on 3rd down and get off the field on defense.
Yeah, and the problem for them is they know that Luther Burden III is the guy in these situations, but they haven't been able to cover the other guys either.
Missouri goes up tempo. Cook. Intercepted. Harold Perkins gets the takeaway that the LSU defense needs so sorely. That's a big play by Harold Perkins Jr., about as good a talent as there is in America.
Yes, and Harold Perkins Jr. does everything. He rushes the passer. He's dropping into coverage right here and does a nice job relaying to the receiver. If he didn't catch that pick, the safety certainly was. So Brady Cook right there, just not seeing it clearly, trying to get the ball to his favorite wide receiver in Luther Burden III, and Harold Perkins is right there.
And so ends Brady Cook's streak at 366 pass attempts without an interception, as he just kept adding to the SEC record until Perkins breaks it. And now the LSU offense back to work with great field position. Diggs into the secondary for 9. Dalen Carnell tripped him up. I'll say it's a gain of 8.
And LSU has to capitalize off of this turnover. That could be a game-changing play right there. But what you're continuing to see is a commitment to the running game because Mizzou is playing with the light box. They know they've got to cover those 2 star wide receivers for LSU's offense. Diggs is going to continue to eat. They got to keep leaning on that.
Quarterback run. Daniels, flag down. Breaking tackles, pays the price. Oh, did he get drilled, Tyron Hopper.
Holding, offense, number 69. 10-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
So Charles Turner, the 3rd, the center, is called for the hold before the play had even finished, just about. Our referee, Jason Autry, was making the call. It's the critically acclaimed series True South, returning for its 6th season on Tuesday. John T. Edge travels to Hot Springs, Arkansas to meet the locals, eat good food, and talk about Southern beliefs and identity. 7 Eastern, 6 Central, over on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. New episodes premiere every 2 weeks. I have to tell you, for a Tubby guy, I need to be the guest host on that show. Every time I see that show, I'm like, how do you get paid to go eat this food?
Wouldn't we all love that?
Good job, John T. Edge. You have cracked the code. So after the penalty, it'll be 2nd down and 12.
Maybe we should do our own version of man versus food.
You're talking.
Now that would be awesome.
Plenty of time on the play clock as Daniels gets his team lined up. Hand off to Diggs. Plenty of room right down the middle of the field. Logan Diggs inside the 15 down to about the 12. J.C. Carlisle brought him down 35 yards on the run by Diggs.
Watching the tape this week, I said they got to make them pay when they bring pressure, and they did just that. Logan Diggs running down the middle of the field. Not quite the most fleet of foot running back, but a ton to handle down the middle. Right now, averaging 6.8 yards per carry. Like I said, just keep feeding it.
And they do. And this time he picks up only 3 to the 10-yard line. It will be 2nd down and 7. 3:22 to go before halftime.
You know, Bob, it's a tale of the coordinators or these two teams kind of being really familiar with each other. They know that DC from Mizzou, Blake Baker, doesn't like to give up a ton of rushing yards, but he has to be patient today to allow his front to try to win and stop the run. Right now, they're just not doing it.
They keep it on the ground with Diggs. He's down to the 6-yard line. That brings up a big third down at the 6. 3rd down and 3, so LSU can get a first down inside the 3. 95 yards rushing now for Logan Diggs.
Yeah, to finish that point, when we talked to Blake Baker, he said he can't get frustrated today, right? He knows that they need to play more guys in coverage, so it's going to be on their front and their backers in the box to be able to stop the run. So far today, they haven't been able to do that, but because their offense is playing at such a high level, a couple of these stops, making LSU kick field goals instead of scoring touchdowns in the red zone could be the difference.
LSU 2 for 5 on 3rd down. Again, it's on the ground with Josh Williams. He gets the push, and it depends on where they spot it. I think it's a first down, they will say, without measurement. And it looks like we have an injured player down there as well.
You see that. As soon as you see contact, watch running backs when they drive their legs. That's how you know they're not afraid. One, not afraid of contact. And two, we always want backs that finish forward. Right there, he finished forward enough to get the first down.
The center, Charles Turner, was hurt on that play, but he's going to come to the sideline. He tried to shake it off, but he will be replaced by a true freshman, DJ Chester. And we have a timeout on the field. 1st and goal for LSU when we return.
I'm hungry, man. That was fun.
What's going on? Did you go to another Taco Bell?
Relax, bro. You got you some.
What? A crunch wrap? How'd you know? You're my best friend.
You're finally mastering Grandma's 12-hour sauce. Your stovetop gave out in the 11th hour. Luckily, American Home Shield is there to fix or replace covered appliances and home systems. Protect what you don't expect. Visit ahs.com and get a free quote today.
My little family is me, Aria, and Jade. Just the 3 of us girls. Here, this way. I never thought twice about feeding her kibble, but about 2 years ago, I realized she was overweight. She was always out of breath. That's when I decided to introduce the farmer's dog to her diet. It's just so fresh that she literally gets bubbles in her mouth. Now she's a lot more active. She's able to join us on our adventures, and we're all able to do things as a family.
Get started at betterforthem.com.
After Advil.
Let's dive in.
But what about your back?
It's fine.
Before Advil. Advil Dual Action fights pain 2 ways. Advil targets pain at the source. Acetaminophen blocks pain signals. Advil Dual Action.
Free breakfast, anyone?
Express yourself. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Express yourself. You don't ever need help from nobody else. All you got to do now.
Impressive. Enjoy our free, fresh, hot breakfast any way you like. Only at Holiday Inn Express by IHG Hotels and Resorts.
It's E5G.
Only $5 Whopper Junior times 2. Double the juniors, that's your cue. One for you, one for your friend to go. JK, you ate them both, they'll never know.
BK, have it your way.
You can feel it. A force that moves everything around it.
Maryland giving Ohio State all they have in the first half of this one, plus the afternoon game, some good ones in the SEC, including A&M and Alabama. Dan Mullen, Joey Galloway join me coming up on the Lexus Halftime Report.
Well, Matt, it's a goal-to-go situation here for LSU with a backup center on the field, as Charles Turner III had to leave the field. So Marlon Martinez will snap the ball to Jaden Daniels on 1st and goal. LSU trying to take the Harold Perkins pick and capitalize. Swing pass, and that's about as easy as it gets. Touchdown, Mason Taylor. So the Bayou Bengals use the short field, and they make this a one-score game again.
And it's become a Logan Diggs type of game. Run the ball downhill. They fake it, get it to their tight end, Mason Taylor, who had a really good year last year. He does a nice job not just catching the ball and scoring the touchdown here, but giving the illusion that he's going to go block first. That is what draws the defense and catches them off guard. Nice play call down there when they've been running the heck out of the football so far this week.
Mason Taylor's dad, Jason, of course, in the Hall of Fame. He chased quarterbacks, but Mason catches touchdown passes. That's his first of the year. And it's now 22-17. Time for my favorite 15 seconds of the week. A quick word from Cheezer.
I'm RG3Z. See you next time. Hey, who changed my name to RG3Z?
Me? It's a great combo. Like college football and Cheez-It. You like?
You cheddar believe it.
And how will college football fans feel?
They're gonna be feeling the cheesiest!
Woo!
Wow, just screams authenticity. I love it. It's the best.
You cheddar believe it, Bob. You cheddar believe it. If you can't have fun doing this job, why do it?
Last year, our crew called both bowl games that were in Orlando.
Oh, okay.
We were swimming in Cheez-Its. It was the best week of my snacking life.
So you were feeling the cheesiest?
Yeah. It's the shame of all of that is we rehearsed that entire bit. So a touchback as Missouri will have the ball with a couple of minutes to go before halftime. Bob Wischusen here with the cheesiest, RG3. All right, if you're a defense
yes,
and you get a takeaway, what does that infuse into that group? Obviously, they're looking for anything to build on because they've given up nothing but touchdowns, basically going from last week through the first portion of this game.
Well, you heard the report we got from Chris Button on the sideline that they were quiet on the sideline. There was no energy. Well, now you get that turnover. When you're looking at this offense from Mizzou and you're like, is there any way that we can stop these guys? Well, your best player on defense comes up with a huge play, gift wrap to him, and they make it. That could be the turning point for this defense. And I know all LSU fans hope that is the reality of the situation.
A little down and out to Theo Weiss, picks up 4 on first down. Still a minute 40 to go before halftime. And Missouri has 2 timeouts. Over 200 yards passing now for Brady Cook. He has cracked 300 or more passing yards 3 games in a row. Only the 4th Missouri quarterback to do that. Clock winding down. Play clock at 7 and the game clock all the way down to a minute 15. And they'll run it with Schrader. He picks up the first down, and obviously inside of the last 2 minutes, first down, the clock stops, but a lot of time just came off the clock, about 30 seconds, as now there's only a minute 9 to go. Cook back to the air. Again, conservative. Bird spinning like a top, and he picks up 4.
Feels like Kirby Moore is prioritizing trying to get his quarterback out of a bad decision on the interception and taking a little more time off the clock as opposed to just letting him go out there and rip it everywhere on the field to try to go score points before the half.
4-man rush. On target. Marquise Johnson, the freshman, across midfield. And now let's see if Eli Drinkwitz uses a timeout. His team can run up there, obviously, with the clock stopped after a first down, but rather than let any time come off the clock once they set the ball ready for play, he's going to use one here. So down to 1 timeout is Missouri. And you can kick off your Week 5 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific with the Countdown Crew on ESPN and the app. And then the Monday Night Football matchup this week, the Packers and the Raiders in Vegas, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes with Peyton and Eli once again. on ESPN2, and Devontae Adams going up against his old team.
Oh, yeah, that's certainly the storyline, and both of them seem to be missing each other. Not Devontae Adams from a stats perspective, but from winning, and Devontae Adams knows he has, more football behind him than he does in front of him, and we're going to talk about that on Monday night. Countdown with the new Monday night crew, SVP and 2 LSU Tigers, Ryan Clark and Marcus Spears and myself. Tune in, have some fun.
Might be a free play here for Cook. He's going to take a shot and float one out of bounds over the head of Mookie Cooper.
Offside, defense number 0. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
I'll be right behind you, by the way, in Vegas.
Oh,
we're dropping the puck on Tuesday.
Okay.
NHL triple header on ESPN to begin the NHL regular season, and I'll be on hand with our crew when they raise the banner in Vegas for the Golden Knights celebrating their Stanley Cup championship.
You guys should have just seen the way Bob lit up talking about the puck dropping.
Drop the puck.
He loves it.
1st and 5. Brady Cook. Again, a clean pocket. Forced the check down, and a drop by Tyler Stevens. Well, now only 24 seconds on the clock and 1 timeout. Are you thinking more field goal here now if you're Missouri, or are you still thinking end zone?
You're 100% thinking field goal, and we've seen so much bad clock management, not just in college football, but also in the NFL. You would say to yourself, well, why'd they eat so much time up in the beginning? Well, they're playing it both ways. They don't want to go out there and go 3 and out and give the LSU's offense a chance to get the ball back and score points. But now that they're in plus territory, they need to get about 15 more yards to give their guy a chance to get the field goal.
Another drop.
And the drops aren't
Tyler Stevens. Now it's 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, the drops certainly aren't helping. And for Mizzou to start this game so fast and so well, to now only have a 5-point lead, potentially going into halftime, would seem like a win for LSU, clawing themselves back into this game.
Now, Harrison Mevis, the place kicker for Missouri, beat Kansas State with a 61-yard field goal earlier this year. So they might be in field goal range right now. Brady Cook, flag down as he races to the sideline. If the play were to stand, picking up a 1st down, but this looks as if holding will be the call to bring this one back.
Oh, yeah.
Holding, offense number 74. 10-yard penalty to the previous spot. Repeat 3rd down.
So now they are not in field goal range, even for Harrison Mevis.
Yeah, you're going to see number 74. Whenever you see the quarterback scramble and a flag comes out, it's because that right there happens. Whenever you're an offensive lineman and the quarterback is running past you, you have to disengage the defensive lineman. Because as soon as they see that jersey tug in the reach, they're going to throw the flag every single time.
Timeout called by LSU.
LSU has called their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
Is this a reminder? LSU defensively, they have a really strong-legged kicker. If they're just trying to get in the field goal range, guys, this might be where they're trying to get to. Does that change how you deploy your defense at all?
Oh, 100%. When you know you have Harrison Mevis there, and as you mentioned, he kicked that 61-yarder as a game winner. This isn't a situation where now you're playing prevent defense. Because if you play prevent and you give them 15 yards or give them a chance to get 10 yards and get right back in the field goal range, this man right here, as I like to call him, the thicker kicker, he can make that bad boy. Look at that. It's a game of inches. And if they give up too many, the thicker kicker is going to take advantage of it.
He was able to beat Kansas State back in week 3 with an SEC record 61-yard field goal. So if you can just get him inside the 42-yard line or so, you'll be right in the spot where Mevis was able to make. You have to figure Missouri needs close to a 1st down in the 12 to 13-yard range on this play, as Pete will try and run for it. Gets a block, gets to the edge. At the 44-yard line, he's knocked out to make it 4th down and 5 with 9 seconds to go in the half. So from here, it might be closer to a 62, maybe a 63-yard field goal. Would Eli Drinkwitz let Harrison Mevis go out there and try and break his record?
Honestly, I wouldn't. If you looked at that kick that he made for the game winner, it barely got over the crossbar. So I wouldn't
go
do that.
for it on 4th down and 5 and see if they get a conversion. Have time for the field goal. Play clock winding down. Cook over the middle. There it is. Burton needs to give himself up and does. And now they're in field goal range.
There you go.
And they can call their final timeout and give Nevis about a 50-yard attempt.
Same route.
Yard hook up to Burton.
Yeah, same route, same play that Brady Cook threw his pick on. Right across the middle there to Luther Burden III. You're going to see it. This time, different linebacker, Greg Penn III on that side instead of Harold Perkins Jr. And Luther Burden, you're right, he should have gave himself up, but he's so focused on getting that yards after catch, he almost made the clock run out. But luckily they got 3 seconds to got that timeout, and now we get to see Harrison Mevis potentially try to extend Mizzou's lead.
From 50. He gets it away. It's a line drive. It's got the distance. He's got it. So Missouri does add 3 to their lead at halftime. And they're back on top by 8, and they will start the third quarter with the football as well.
Look at that. The thicker kicker had a lot of leg, and look at him. Excited about that reaction. And his coach is saying, oh yeah, we're going to halftime. 8-point lead, and we get the ball back just like we drew it up.
25-17, Missouri over LSU at halftime with Joey Galloway and Dan Mullen. The halftime report with Matt Barrett.
Bob, thank you. Lexus halftime report. See, kids, you can kick a knuckleball from 50 yards out. What a half. Let's start with the big one in Big D. Oklahoma and Texas. First minute of the game. Not a good start for Quinn Ewers, picked off by Gentry Williams.
Yeah, and I think he's just trying to do too much early in this game, trying to fit it into a small window.
Again, this game 49-0 last year already. A better start for Oklahoma. Dylan Gabriel didn't play last year. He's in this year getting the lead.
Yeah, you empty the backfield to create the empty look and nobody there to stop the quarterback power.
And again, Joe, early turnovers for Texas.
Yeah, and that's a chance to score and tie this game up after offense has struggled. That's a tough one.
Defense does its job, then the special teams does its job.
Yeah, sudden change. You get the 3 and out, put the special teams on the field. Huge, great effort to reach the handout. Get it on the ball, block kick.
We've seen a play in that end zone before in this storied rivalry. And then Quinn Ewers, what a toss to Gunnar Helm.
It's a 9-play drive, and the Texas offense just woke up on this drive.
And you know what? The offense has really started to wake up in the better part of the second half, now 17-14.
Yeah, both teams balanced, both able to run, both able to throw. Looks like to be an explosive second half.
A little bit of a lookout alert early on at Columbus, Maryland, and Ohio State. They went for it. 4th and 2, first possession on territory.
I'm sure in practice that play always works. The fakes, the reverse, they always work in practice.
Talia Tagovailoa leads the Big Ten in touchdown passes. Adds another one there to Caden Prather. Cut quick, 7-0. And then McCord gets sacked.
Yeah, they were all over McCord. The Ohio State offense was pretty anemic up until their final drive of the first half.
And then, look, Ohio State couldn't do anything offensively, so they needed the defense to score.
The same thing that Texas did. Texas offense was terrible early. They scored on special teams. Ohio State needed a defensive touchdown to get back in it.
10-10, that one late second quarter. With that, welcome in. Happy October. Dan Mullen, Joey Galloway, Matt Berry alongside. This is the unofficial, official halfway point of the season. A lot of teams on bye weeks, 2 of them not the Tigers, Missouri, LSU, sleepy kick locally in that one. LSU already 2 losses and down at this one at the half.
Yeah, and LSU is not playing great, and we've seen this before. And if you're Missouri, you have a lead at halftime, and you've seen Florida State score 45 points against LSU. You saw last week Ole Miss score 55 points. You go into the half, Brady Cook playing outstanding. He started his game, I think, 14 of 18. So you're feeling pretty good if you're Missouri that you're going to continue to score points.
Yeah, and he did throw his first interception to break the streak, which can shake your confidence a little bit. But it's Missouri's pass game and LSU's run game. LSU has just been trying to establish the run and continue to run. Being down only one score allows them to stick with that game plan and stick with trying to run the football.
They stop anybody, though.
Right.
That's
and they got the coveted 2-for-1 at the end of the half. But LSU, if they had got any dreams in the West, you go down today, those dreams are dashed. So second half should be entertaining. Hey, how many people are showing up for cowbell 11 a.m. local kick against Western Michigan? Coach, you would know.
Yeah, it looks a little sparse today.
Sounds confident.
This halftime report is presented by Lexus. Experience amazing.
Lowe's knows you want the best quality products for the best price. And when you save more on the things you need, you can get more of the things you want. That's why if you find the same product for less, we'll match it. Shop now with the confidence of our lowest price guarantee.
At IHOP, we're flipping up more than pancakes with our new menu featuring waffles, biscuits, burgers, Benedicts, and more. There's always a way to put a smile on your plate. Only at IHOP. Download the app and earn free food with every order.
I've got home internet from T-Mobile. It only costs $50 at T-Mobile. Just one cord to set up. Say goodbye to that truck. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. They won't raise your rates at T-Mobile. You'll get a
Picnic standards.
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
The NHL season returns with an opening night triple-header. Hockey is back. How you feeling about your first game? Super excited. Pretty cool to face off against you.
It's an opening night triple header on ESPN and ESPN Plus.
Coach, how does LSU get back in this one and win?
Well, they got to have to play defense. Brady Cook, Luther Burden, Theo Weiss have looked on fire. This Missouri offense rolling. I don't know if LSU has the firepower to stop them.
Wow, that would be 3 losses for the Bayou Bengals. Back to Columbia for the second half.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute. There's a flag on the play.
It's your Uncle Cooper. Sure, once in a blue moon, you might need your tires for hauling a horse in a hailstorm. But most days, you're going to need your tires.
Presented by Zales. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. 227 yards in the first half for Brady Cook, 110 of those yards to Luther Burden, and a 25-17 Missouri lead against LSU. Bob Wischusen here with Robert Griffin III. Chris Butt is with us as well. Just heard Matt Barry ask Dan Mullen, how, if you're LSU, do you stop the bleeding and get back in this game and maybe win? And Dan Mullen said, I don't know if their defense can.
Right.
Has it come to that for LSU? Not sure if you can get a stop?
No, I think they can get a stop. And I would say for LSU and their defensive coordinator, Matt House, you have to make a decision. Do you want to die slow or do you want to die fast? All right? You're dying slow right now, playing zone. They're hitting these pockets inside of those zones and getting the yak. I think it's time to just play man coverage. Listen, these guys are scholarship guys. They're very talented. You got to allow them to go out and try to challenge these wide receivers at the point of attack on the line of scrimmage and not give them as much space. I know that sounds counterintuitive, and this has been a weakness for this LSU defense, but that's what I would do in this moment.
Yeah, the numbers continue to be historic for this LSU defense in the worst possible way. And Cook goes back to work to start off the second half. To the sideline. Mookie Cooper got a foot down and picks up a first down.
I love this play. They get Brady Cook on the run. They used this play a lot last week as well, or when they played Vanderbilt, and it's almost like a guaranteed completion for them. Pushing vertical, getting Brady Cook out, get him in the flow of the second half right away.
Straight ahead run for Schrader. And he has 5 yards on first down. Makai Wingo made the stop. Down to Chris.
Bob, for Brian Kelly, what a difference a quarter makes. He said we need to continue to build on that momentum with a one-score game. But to Robert's point, he was actually pleased with the way they were playing that zone defense towards the end of the second quarter. Eli Drinkwitz's message to his team, we got to start out fast. We got to stop the run.
Well, they did start fast and an opportunity to put together back-to-back possessions, the field goal to end the first half, and starting the third quarter with the ball.
Yeah, and that's exactly why that field goal was so big for them. And they've been doing it kind of the opposite way that LSU has. They've been airing it out, whereas LSU has been really heavy in the running game.
On the move is Cook. Drops one off, and that's the third drop for Stevens.
And, you know, to Chris's point, you know, they might have been pleased with how that zone coverage was playing at the end of the half, but they still also gave up a 4th and 5 to allow Mizzou to get into field goal range to extend their lead to 8 points. So I would still go on the side of, listen, we're LSU. We got to challenge these guys. You know, you got to challenge them, and right now they're
Ball
not.
start, offense, number 7, 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
Well, Schrader getting called for the false start now allows LSU to try and challenge defensively on third down at 9.
Correct. And we've talked to defensive coordinators this year, and they said, you know, in situations like this, 3rd and 9 used to be a zone down. But now it's more of a man down, because if you give up 7 yards on 3rd and 9, teams around midfield are more willing to go for it on 4th down.
Do you think LSU needs to become more of a man defense?
Like we said, it's just tough. I would in this situation, because nothing that they're doing is working. So you might as well play that cat defense and say, go guard that man right there and call it a day.
Empty backfield. 4-man rush. Cook. He's going to take off and run. Has the first down. Dives across the 50. You know, Brady Cook, a bone bruise and even a slight fracture in his knee back against Kansas State in week 3. He's been rehabbing that injury, and they feel like he's healthy for the first time since then. It showed here.
Yeah, it definitely showed there. But I'm not going to lie, man. It looked like there was a little bit of holding going on there by the offensive lineman, preventing the defensive end from getting to Brady Cook there, as you saw it on your screen on that replay.
So maybe Mizzou gets away with one. LSU shows pressure. Plenty of time on the play clock. Now it's down to 5. Quarterback keeper. Acceleration for Brady Cook. Out of bounds at the LSU 32. 16 on that scramble.
Brady Cook is trying to remind this LSU defense, although I can run too, that bone bruise in his knee has not prevented him from still showing off the elusiveness with his legs. And honestly, I've been so impressed with Brady Cook over the past few weeks since week 3 when he did get that bone bruise, because when you take away a guy's stinger, a lot of times he has nothing else. But Brady Cook has become the #1 pass efficiency guy in the SEC since that injury, not really running as much. So if he gets his legs back like that, whew, this team will be dangerous.
Play action, check down, Schrader. Ping pongs around to the 27-yard line for a 5-yard gain. Another hit by Greg Penn.
How about Cody Schrader and his story, right? D2 Truman State walk-on, comes in here last year due to injury, ends up becoming the starter. And now I think he's coming into this week, he was the 2nd leading rusher in the SEC. It's truly amazing what he's been able to do. And, you know, little plays like that go unnoticed, but as a quarterback, you love throwing that check down and being able to get 6 yards.
And there he goes in motion. Cook will throw this one away. It will be 3rd down. Again, transferring to a Missouri-level school as a walk-on. Basically, Cody Schrader bet on himself.
Yes, he did. And, you know, we always get caught up in the 5 stars and the 4 stars and what's this guy's ranking. And there's a lot of great football players out there. And he just happened to be one that slipped through the cracks. And now he comes to Mizzou, and he's putting on for himself, and maybe even has an opportunity to go play at the next level based off of the production that he's had here in the SEC.
LSU trying to get lined up for third down. Cook, a middle floater, incomplete. Burden was the intended receiver, and now you're in that gray area of fourth down and about 4, and it is field goal range. Here comes Harrison Mevis. So a stop for LSU on defense. They will hold Missouri to a field goal try to end the first half and to begin the second half.
Which is a win. I mean, it's a win for this LSU defense that hasn't been able to stop anything. So to be able to get that stop right coming into the second half is wonderful. And just on that throw, you know, Brady Cook's got to try to get his foot in the ground and get a little more oomph on that one, because he had the matchup he wanted with Major Burns on Luther Burden III.
Two-time Groza semifinalist, Mevis from 44. And that one may have been deflected at the line as it falls short. So LSU not only gets a defensive stop, but special teams steps up as well, as this Mevis kick looked like it was grazed at the line.
He was too thick on that one.
And on the ball, you can see 4 come clean and dive, but boy, the replay certainly makes it look as if that ball cleared the hand of Harold Perkins. And that was just a miss hit for Harrison Mevis.
Yeah, sometimes the stroke just isn't right, man.
So back to the offense in a one-possession game, Daniels. And they have not done a ton of their damage through the air, but they get this drive started with a Neighbors completion.
But again, you see the kick, and they're talking about, you know, maybe he was spinning the laces too soon to when the kick was happening, but it appears that it just was a mishit on the kick.
Quarterback run. Daniels right up the middle. across the 50 and dragged down inside the 40-yard line down to the Missouri 35. Joseph Charleston was able to make the stop.
When you're a defense and you're trying to put more guys into coverage and you have those light boxes, quarterback run, you're very susceptible to that. And Jaden Daniels is not a guy that you don't want to have anyone watching when he's running down the middle of the field.
27 on that run by Daniels. Logan Diggs. 2 yards. Another tackle for Tyron Hopper.
And we talked about it during Mizzou's drive about how LSU has been attacking this Missouri defense. And it's partly because of the way that they're playing. They're trying to keep two safeties high. They're trying to bracket their star receivers, not giving them that easy access or those easy access throws. And when you're down 22-10, it can be a struggle to stick with the run. But at 25-17, they just got to keep doing it.
Little button hook, turning upfield. His Neighbors down inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. 21 yards for Malik Neighbors.
And Bob, I'm telling you, when you run the ball as much as LSU is, these receivers know, hey, man, when I get the ball, I got to go try to do something with it. And that's exactly what Malik Neighbors just did right there. They've only thrown the football 9 times today. So whenever these receivers get it, they're trying to score even more so than they always already are.
4 of those completions to Neighbors. Blitz coming. Daniels, one-on-one, back right corner of the end zone for Kyron Lacey. Just out of his reach.
Man, oh man, just out of Kyron Lacey's reach. You're going to see it right here. Jaden Daniels, he's felt good about the throw when he makes this one. Wow, just out of his reach. And what I'll say is we've seen Jaden Daniels for the last 2 weeks of the season throw 5 touchdown passes on the box fade. Right there, they went with the corner route. Maybe they should have kept that theme of the box fade because he's been really in sync with that throw.
Lacey in motion. Met at the line of scrimmage. Niles Gaddy all over Diggs. Good one-on-one tackle in the box by Gaddy. No gain.
Yeah, you talked about 21 Niles Gaddy with the swim move, and then he's in the backfield. I'm telling you, man, these Mizzou Tiger defensive linemen, they are not trying to just stack and shed. Right? They are trying to get in the backfield and smother the run out. And we've seen it all day long. Now, they haven't been great because they've given up a bunch of rushing yards. But in these situations, holding LSU to a field goal, those are the types of plays that can make that happen.
See if they can. 3rd down and 10 from the 12. Empty backfield. 5-man rush. The blitz coming. There's the fade into the end zone. Broken up. Beautifully done by Chris Abrams-Drain. And now it's 4th down from the 12-yard line. And now a bend but don't break series for Mizzou defensively will hold to a field goal.
Just as we talk about that box fade, and I want all the receivers at home to know this, when you run that box fade, you have to give the quarterback space from the sideline. Right there, Chris Abrams-Drain forced Malik Neighbors so far to the sideline, it gave Jaden Daniels no room to make the throw.
It looks like a penalty marker was thrown on that play. Here's Jason Autry, our referee.
Personal foul, offense number 66. Blocking a player out of bounds during the play. The 15-yard penalty is enforced in the previous spot. Repeat 3rd down.
All right.
I think Eli Drinkwitz wants to decline this penalty. Yeah, they're going to take the down and hold LSU to a field goal. Now, it would have been 3rd down and 25, but now you bring a variety of things into the mix, but just giving LSU a chance on 3rd down again, and he's not going to take that chance.
Yeah, I wouldn't either when you got Jaden Daniels, a quarterback, and these two.
Or a defensive penalty could occur. Anything could happen.
We've seen that happen in the first half when they gave him 3 first and goals, right? So it's a smart decision there. I kind of want to see block, though. I think we should pull that one up in the replay to see just exactly what they flagged him for on that block out of bounds.
Ramos made earlier from 48. This one from just inside of 30. 29 officially. And he is able to put it through. Back to a 5-point game. And there were a couple of holds notable on that drive.
Yes, there were. A couple of game-stopping plays there, right there, getting in the backfield. And then, of course, here on the box fade, great coverage by Abrams Drain.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early mornings, planning, precision, sweat, sacrifice, and teamwork. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in their game. Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises.
Ain't no secret in staying in your prime. You just gotta want it, baby. Eating almonds can help you recover from exercise. Fellas, get after it. So eat your almonds. Own your prime.
Target Circle Week, here now through October 7th with Target Circle member-only deals. Save on toys you want, groceries you need, styles you love, and so much more. Don't miss out on Target Circle Week. Join now for free at Target.com to start saving.
Some people just know what road to take. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate.
The service road is faster.
Turn left.
Not happening.
He knows better than any GPS, and he'd point you in Allstate's direction.
Go all the way down the road past the big gray warehouse.
Take the next exit.
You're not from around here, so you don't know the back roads.
I don't want to be late for the party.
I'm going to save us 5 minutes.
Some people just know what road to take. You're on the fastest route. Those are the people who know safe drivers save 40% with Allstate.
A car like this shouldn't exist. Something this big, this luxurious, shouldn't move like a Mazda.
Deserves a standing ovation. Of course, KOMU, the NBC affiliate right here. That's run by the group at Mizzou. And go Chris Button. She's back in her old stomping grounds here in Columbia. Hi there.
Hi, yeah. Credit to Mizzou for the education that I got here, but I went here from 02 to 06 when Missouri football was atop of the Big 12. The Big 12 and Chase Daniel and Brad Smith eras. And I'll tell you what, like I've seen a lot of football games here. I've never seen one where the student section, that entire ends with the M, is as packed as it is right now. It's been pretty cool to see the energy that's around this town right now.
Now, this game being sold out, the atmosphere, how much fun it is to be there is a little bit of a consolation prize for me, hearing that Chris went for here from 02 to 07. Just painful. Nathaniel Pete spins into traffic. It really hurt when I realized I called the Mizzou game for ESPN with Chase Daniel at quarterback.
Really?
And Chris then announced that she was in the student section that day.
Bob, you're not old. You're just a little seasoned, okay?
Yeah, no.
You got a little seasoning on
I'm old. There is no fine wine here. I am just flat out old. Midway through the third quarter. LSU gets a negative play on first down, so 2nd and 11. Cook to the sideline, Mookie Cooper. And they have forced 3rd down. Speaking of Mizzou legends, how about this one? Jeremy Maclin, a college football Hall of Famer, and the only freshman in Mizzou history to be named first-team All-American. He'll be officially inducted to the College Football Hall of Fame in December, and he is now a Ring of Honor member as well here at Faurot Field. So he was honored during the first half as well.
Oh, he was a bad man.
Oh.
Hard cover.
3rd down and 7. Cook floats left, extends the play, throws it away. That LSU defense starting to feel it a little bit, and you can see it on their sideline as well, how they are reacting with Greg Penn III and Mason Smith putting the pressure on Brady Cook.
They said, you know what, RG3? We're not going to play man. We're going to keep playing zone, and our D-line is going to get that penetration that we've been looking for and asking for them to do. That pick by Harold Perkins Jr. in the first half started it for the LSU defense, and they've been picking it up ever since.
A chance for LSU to possibly take the lead with a touchdown on this next drive if they can move the ball down the field. Luke Bauer. That's away a wobbly kick, and Clayton will watch this one go sideways, out of bounds, a shank. This will be great field position for LSU. In plus territory, in fact. They will start at the Missouri 45-yard line.
And, you know, over the past few weeks, we haven't been able to talk about, oh, look at this coverage. They're getting to their drop zones. Everyone's doing their job. And then you see the rush, right? Look, everyone's got their eyes on the QB. They're in their zones. They're playing well. And then you see the rush for Brady Cook. He's trying to hold on to the ball, give his guys opportunities to make plays, and they are ferocious. That is the standard for LSU.
The first
we haven't seen
Missouri
that.
punt travels only 17 yards. And one of those short fields that LSU was able to use after the takeaway, the interception by Perkins, set them up in plus territory. Eventually, they got the ball in the end zone. Logan Diggs up the middle for 2.5.
You know, what's so shocking about some of the special teams gaps that we've seen from Missouri is that in our meeting this week with Eli Drinkwitz, he said he thought that was the strength. They thought they were better on special teams than LSU was, and today they just haven't been.
Second down and 7. Daniels looking downfield. He wants a shot for Brian Thomas into the end zone. Touchdown. LSU has the lead as Brian Thomas Jr. continues to add to his national lead in touchdown receptions. He's got 9 on the year.
Ooh-wee, what a play call right there. Mike Denbrock dialing it up. Jaden Daniels, play action fake, rolls one way, comes back the other way, hits the post for a touchdown. That throw was something. I can't wait to break that one down after we come back from break.
Now remember, on the opening possession of the game, Missouri went for 2 and got it. But LSU continues to kick the point after, not chasing that point. I guess Brian Kelly thinking there's a lot of time left in this game. So rather than go for 2, takes a 2-point lead with 6 minutes to go in the third. 4 straight possessions with points for LSU.
You want to get food or you?
right now.
What if my coverage isn't right? What if I accidentally hit a food truck? What if it gets covered in empanadas?
At State Farm, we're there for your what ifs.
Thanks.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
Not you eating on your daddy's white carpet.
Cut the bulljoke and give me one of the wings. Get 8 of KFC's new hot and spicy wings for only $4.99.
Matt Berry in our college football studio after Maryland just grabbed the lead on a Taulia Tagovailoa touchdown. Chip Trainum to the pylon to tie it for the Buckeyes. 17 all in the third.
Well, Matt, here in Columbia, Brady Cook now in a hole. He's about to get the football back as Missouri's quarterback only 3 of 7 for 24 yards so far in the third quarter. The LSU defense helping to flip the script. And let's go back to the 9th touchdown of the season for Brian Thomas Jr.
Oh, yeah, guys, it was a beauty. You're going to see the play-action fake by the back, and the quarterback's going to semi-roll and set up. Watch what it does to this safety, and you're going to watch Brian Thomas Jr. run this post route right to the area of the field that he vacates. Now, what you're going to also get is Kyron Lacey at the top of the screen running this deep cross. The safety cuts. Brian Thomas Jr. replaces him right over the top. And when you watch these guys in sync, play action pass, the receiver and the quarterback have to be on the same page at the same time. And right there, that throw was finger licking good.
Cook with a crosser. And Mookie Cooper scampers out of bounds for a gain of 6 out to the 31-yard line. So Daniels now has also flipped the script in the first half. 5 of 8, 70 yards and a touchdown. Already in the second half, 3 of 5 for 74 yards and a touchdown.
It's a classic case of let the game come to you. Right now, Missouri has been living by the deep ball and living by throwing the football and dying by it. They got to get back committed to the running game.
Cody Schrader breaks free. Nice cut back at midfield. Schrader being tracked to the red zone and finally shoved down at the 17. Zy Alexander pushed him out after a gain of 51.
Oh, it's the stretch zone, and Cody Schrader right on cue. Hey, get to the running game. That's exactly what he does. Doesn't let the first guy in open space tackle him, and then you see him just like a bowling ball of butcher knives going down the field.
95 yards rushing now for Schrader. Again, the former Division II walk-on that transferred to Missouri, bet on himself, and he's atop the SEC rushing. Here's a jet sweep, a little end around, and losing his footing at about the 20-yard line and going down was Luther Burton. So he will lose about a yard.
Oh, my goodness, guys. If he doesn't lose his footing right here, they've got a convoy in front of him. They seal the edge or, secure the edge for him, but he just trips and falls, and you see that reaction from him on the ground. He knows he had a big game there, but fortunately for LSU, he lost his feet.
Well, they did say the progress back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10. Quarterback run for Cook. Flag down. The ball pops out. It ends up with Major Burns. He loses it. He's got it back. LSU's got a takeaway depending on the result of the penalty marker.
Looks like Brady Cook may have been down. So let's see what the flag is actually going to be on.
Ruling on the play is a fumble recovered by the defense. During the play, holding offense number 74. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
So as things stand now, it is a takeaway for LSU, a recovery for Major Burns. The question, though, and replay will certainly take a look, was Brady Cook down?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. They ruled it as a fumble on the field. The key is when this punch comes in from behind, does he lose control of the ball? Because if he doesn't, his butt is on the ground before the ball comes out completely.
Hard to see the football on both of those first two looks. Maybe this more definitive.
And it's got to be indisputable evidence to overturn it.
I don't know if on any of those three replays you've got a clear look at the football.
So
it
right
certainly
there,
still looks like he has it. I think he's down.
Yeah, the booty cheeks are on the ground.
But where's the ball?
You don't know where the ball is. We had the same thing happen to us last week, Bob, with LSU on a touchdown catch by Brian Thomas Jr. If there's not indisputable evidence, they're not going to overturn it.
Savion Jones was the player that made the tackle. Matt Austin, our officiating expert. And Matt, how hard is this call to make in the replay booth until you see a look where you can tell he's got firm control of the football?
Does he still have firm control of the ball? Is it yanked out later? I think he's down, but agree. Fink doesn't get it. Do you have clear and obvious evidence on video to change the ruling on the field?
I think that last look that we had, you could see that he had control of the ball. Here's the call.
After video review, the ruling is the runner was down prior to losing possession. There is holding. Offense will be enforced 10 yards from the previous spot. It'll be second down at the 27-yard line.
And again, we have the ability to also sync up a couple of replays to show you a clear angle that he's down on the right, and on the left, it still looks like he has firm control of the football. And again, those two freeze frames are synced up to the exact same moment. So I think, as you said, Robert, I think the replay booth got that one right.
Yeah, they got it right. We've seen some questionable calls over the first couple weeks in the season. But right there, Brady Cook got saved by the butt.
So now they enforce the holding penalty. And here is Schrader. Out of bounds at the 24-yard line. And that's second down at 20 and only a gain of 3 yards. So this will now, after the Whitweek's tackle, make it third down and 17 for Missouri.
Yeah, before you ask me, what I want to call here, there's not very many plays for third and 17, Bob. I just want to throw
I wasn't going to put you on the spot there.
I just want to throw it out there. If you're Mizzou, you almost have to kind of play for the field goal here. But after the way your kicker just kicked that last one, I don't know how much confidence they might have in him, even though he is a really good kicker.
Flags down.
Delay game, disconcerting signals. Defense number 15, clapping while it seems at the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
Now it's third down and 12. That's the second time in the game an LSU player have clapped.
Yes.
And then there comes a penalty for a disconcerting signal. And there's the clap on the left side of the screen by Sage Ryan, the nickel corner.
Yeah, and we talked to Matt Austin during one of the breaks, and he said that if one team uses the clap to get the snap, then the defense is not allowed to clap at all the entire game. So there might be some rule changes coming for that, because that certainly didn't look like he was trying to do anything bad.
Catch made by Weiss on third down and long inside the 5. It'll be first and goal, Missouri. And that 5-yard penalty made it third down and manageable. And Missouri takes advantage.
And Brady Cook decided to show off the arm string with the whole shot down the sideline to Theo Weiss Jr. I said there's not many plays for third and 17, but a whole shot on third and 12, whoo, line it up.
That's all right. That's what I'm here for.
An extra offensive lineman in the game in Marcellus Johnson. First and goal at the 2. Schrader up the middle into the end zone. LSU thought that the offensive front for Missouri committed a false start. No flag came out. And as things stand now, it looks like it's a Mizzou touchdown. Brian Kelly can't believe it. He is down the sideline screaming at the officials. And now the officials get together and finally a touchdown signal. Did the officials miss a false start? Oh, there's no question.
Oh, yeah.
Xavier Delgado, the left guard, absolutely flinched. The LSU defensive front, 100% right. And the officials simply missed it.
I mean, Xavier Delgado did a little bit more than flinch. He almost went off the ball immediately and punched the guy in the face. So they got away with one on that one.
Schrader now, 100 yards rushing. Add the touchdown to it. And Missouri, they go back on top. But Brian Kelly has a case because that absolutely should have been a false start called against Mizzou.
100% should have been a false start. And if you're LSU, you're like, all right, well, we didn't get the fumble because Brady Cook was down on the fumble. And then you turn around and you kind of, handicap us by letting the offensive line flinch or false start. Right here, you see him circled, Xavier Delgado. He goes right now. That's a false start. So I understand why Brian Kelly is upset on the sideline. I understand why the D-line is upset.
And on top of that, you're an LSU defensive player. You come out of your stance, you point, you now don't have leverage anymore.
Not at all.
Brian Kelly's right.
Yeah, and you see Brian Kelly saying, what are you
doing? And that puts those defensive linemen in a very bad spot because now they go down on one knee to point at the guy who commits the false start, or it looked like Mason Smith stood up and pointed and said, hey, false start. And now your whole midsection is exposed, and you're probably much easier to block.
Way easier to block. And I could see the ref talking to Brian Kelly there saying, hey, man, my bad, my bad. And Brian Kelly's probably like, my bad's not going to take those points off the board.
32-27, Missouri back on top with 2:22 to go in the third. Line drive for a touchback. Well, tonight on ABC and the ESPN app, another big matchup, this one in Louisville. Zach Plummer at 5-0. Louisville will take on Sam Hartman and Notre Dame. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC. And undefeated teams in action today on ESPN and ABC. Obviously, the Red River rivalry and our game currently being played. And Kentucky, Georgia. What a huge game that is in the East tonight in the SEC.
Yes, it is. And if we said that Kentucky, Missouri would be undefeated at this point in the season with Georgia as the only SEC schools that are undefeated, I don't think anybody would have believed this. But that's where we are, and that's why college football is such a beautiful game. Got to play it on the grass or the turf.
There could be a two-loss division champion this year in the SEC.
It really could.
Based on how even so many of these games seem to be and how wide open it feels like as we're only in mid-October, early October. Daniels rips one to the sideline. Kyron Lacey stays in bounds. Nope, they'll say he stepped out, but still plenty good enough for an LSU first down across midfield.
I know as a quarterback, you love throwing the wide open guys. Jaden Daniels going through his first read. He's like, oh, they left him a little bit uncovered. That's easy. That amount of space with these wide receivers, especially Kyron Lacey, who Coach Mike Denbrock said is he's just one or two steps away from being that next great LSU wide receiver. They've got an embarrassment of riches in that wide receiver line.
It's a long list as well. Talk about wide receiver U. Logan Diggs right up the middle, busts into the secondary again. Another LSU first down. 15 more for Logan Diggs.
That is a thing of beauty. Look at this hole open up. Right there, they're cutting the defense. Man, you come in there trying to grab at ankles like Tyron Hopper did just there. There's no way you're going to be able to tackle Logan Diggs like that.
And then a flag dropped out at the line of scrimmage, the new line of scrimmage.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 15. That is his second unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game. He is disqualified. The 15-yard penalty includes an automatic first down.
So you'll remember Johnny Walker Jr. was called for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty earlier in the game when he was injured and players were laying on his legs and he tried to kick one off.
Correct.
That's his second unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So Johnny Walker Jr. is out of the game.
Man, we talked about it in the first half. You just can't kick a guy on the football field, even if they're laying on you and you feel like they're doing it on purpose. And now the refs told him he's got to go take a walk to the locker room.
Quarterback draw. Daniels down after a gain of 3.
Yeah, you can see Johnny Walker Jr. right there, distraught about being thrown out of the football game. Don't ever think that these guys, you know, that the game doesn't mean something to them. But when you get that second personal foul, look, they're trying to clean the game up and make sure that it's not becoming too chippy.
Daniels pulls it down, flips one on the left flat. Mason Taylor. He should have a first down. And I think does down to the 7-yard line. First and goal, LSU. And that should take us to the end of the third quarter.
Oh, just a beautiful play design right there by Mike Denbrock. They've been running the zone read with the lead blocker on the outside for Jaden Daniels all game long. So what do? They make it look the same exact way, flip it out to him for a very easy first down, Bob.
Well, this sellout crowd has been treated to quite a game. 5-point game as we head to the fourth. That's the end of the third. Now we take a quick timeout with DoorDash.
Coffee?
Oh, yes. Yeah, thank you.
From the director of The Wolf of Wall Street and based on a true American story.
Please send help. There's murder in this town.
It's $25,000 laying there. I was sent down from Washington, D.C. to see about these murders. What's you found out?
Nothing. Well, you seem nervous. I got no nerves. You think someone's gonna hurt you? You think I'm gonna hurt you?
Killers of the Flower Moon. Rated R. Only in theaters October 20th. Get tickets now.
Lunch? Yes, please. That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
Yeah, it is for our Economy Ultimate passengers who paid extra.
I'll just have water.
Okay, sure. Cash or card?
For water? Well, at AT&T, when we offer you our best iPhone deals, we guarantee it. Even on the new iPhone 15 Pro. Check it out. It's made with titanium. Not that you don't keep your word. It's just that you haven't.
What?
Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any
Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN. Here in Columbia, start of the fourth quarter, 5-point game. Missouri trying to hold on to the lead, and LSU trying to retake the lead. First and goal at the 7-yard line to begin the fourth. Play clock under 10. Change of the formation. Diggs shifts ahead. Here comes a blitz. Daniels, rifle shot, end zone incomplete. Flag out.
Oh, yeah.
Byron Lacey, the intended receiver, and Dalen Carnell, it looks like will get called.
Yeah, defensive holding for sure at the top of that route.
Pass interference, defense, number 13. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball was pushed to the 2-yard and included an automatic first down.
Yeah, you're going to watch this. Kyron Lacey at the top of his route. He just grabs and holds him. His ball's in the air. That's why it's pass interference and not defensive holding. But if you're going to hold, because I believe a lot of DBs do hold a lot of the time in all these routes, you can't make it that obvious.
Brian Kelly's going to put all his tight ends on the field. First and goal at the 2. High snap, bobble, Daniels maintains his composure, cuts it back. He's in for the touchdown. Flag down on the play.
Holding, offense, number 88. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Morion Pimpton, true freshman tight end, called for the hold. And boy, does that change things. Now it's all the way back to the 12-yard line.
Oh, it ruins a perfect non-panic play here by Jaden Daniels. High snap, don't panic, go try to make a play. Let the guy go at that point, man. It's behind the play. Jaden Daniels is going to outrun him anyway. But Pimpton got caught.
And Daniels is hurt. All of a sudden, Jaden Daniels is down on one knee. And here come the trainers for LSU to take a look at the senior quarterback. Garrett Nussmeier up off the bench, starting to warm up.
It ain't my dad's razor, Dad. Hey, watch it. It's from Gillette Labs. This
Welcome back to Faurot Field. You can see Jaden Daniels back out on the field after being helped off. He did not go into the injury tent. The trainers are taking a look at the right rib area. He's going to walk off, but he was just throwing the ball. He's going to go speak with the trainers a little bit more.
So Garrett Nussmeier in the game. That hit from Hicks knocked Daniels out, at least for now. So first and goal at the 12. LSU trying to retake the lead, but the backup quarterback, Garrett Nussmeier, now in the game for the first time. They'll run it with Neighbors. And he gets pounded at the 11-yard line. Tough spot for the backup quarterback to come in cold off the bench in the red zone.
Yeah, it is a tough spot, but Nussmeier's no slouch. He came in the SEC championship game last year in the second half and played against Georgia and played quite well. But when you've been sitting on the sideline for the entirety of the game in a crucial situation, he just has to play basic football. Make your reads, get the ball out, lean on these great players that are around you, and don't try to do too much.
Played in 7 games last year, 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Has barely played this year. False start. This will back LSU up further.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Well, the best of 5 WNBA finals start tomorrow afternoon at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. Asia Wilson and the defending champion Aces taking on Brianna Stewart and the Liberty. Coverage tips with WNBA Countdown at 2:30 Eastern. The last 2 MVPs in a showdown in the finals.
Make sure y'all tune into that, because listen, it's been fire in this WNBA playoffs for sure.
Jaden Daniels in the injury tent on the LSU bench. Garrett Nussmeier, the redshirt sophomore, with the play clock winding down. Bobbles the snap. Steps up. In trouble. Heaves one. Incomplete. He was certainly outside the pocket and got the ball well past the line of scrimmage. Chris Abrams-Drain put the pressure on. So now it's 3rd down and goal.
Man, I would say good job of getting that one out and trying to throw it away. He almost threw that one right to the safety. You're going to throw it in that direction, either get a little more mustard on it so you can get it to that receiver that's in the back of the end zone, or clearly throw the football out of bounds in his vicinity.
Play clock winding down again at 5.
You can see the double coverage down here at the bottom of your screen on the slot receiver.
Flag down.
Slot receiver was Malik Neighbors.
Delay a game. Disconcerting signals. Defense number 2. Platform, the offense was set. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Turnabout is fair play.
My goodness, guys. It seems like all the defenses have a case of the collapse here right now. And the dang referees. These guys are just trying to get their guys pumped up, man. Get them aligned and set. They're not trying to get the offense to jump off sides. But as our guy Matt Austin said, they just got to put the claps away, because both offenses are using the clap to try and get the ball snapped.
3rd down and goal from the 11 after Rakestraw commits the 5-yard penalty. Nussmeier lobs one back right corner of the end zone for Neighbors, who can't climb the ladder and pull it down. Abrams-Drain, well done on coverage. And LSU will have to send the field goal unit out.
And you're going to see Abrams-Drain trying to funnel Neighbors to the safety who is his help. But then when he gets back outside of him, he doesn't panic. He plays through the hands, and you see him saying he put the straps on him. That's a really good play. And Chris Abrams-Drain and Ennis Rakestraw Jr., number 7, number 2, they call them yin and yang, right? They balance each other out, and they are not afraid of these wide receivers for LSU, and it's showing.
Ramos from 28. No good. A 28-yard field goal miss for Damian Ramos. And it's still a 5-point lead for Mizzou. Just barely pushed the chip shot outside the right upright.
Gets me excited. The sound of God.
Joe Biden is so liberal, he even wants to.
ESPN College Football is presented by Zales, only at Zales, the Diamond Store.
28-yard field goal miss for Damian Ramos. And you can see going away on our coverage, it looked like Ramos and Bramblett thought this field goal was good, but Matt Austin, why is this field goal ruled no good?
Well, in order for a field goal to be good, it must pass between the uprights. Over the top is no good. So it's got to go between, and if the ball is higher, it's not reviewable.
So that official right under the goalpost certainly has the best vantage point, not only in terms of looking straight up, but also depth perception-wise. And he immediately signaled no good. Over the top of the actual upright, no good, has to be inside. So that's a miss. Brady Cook out of the pocket, looking downfield. Tipped ball, incomplete. Good hands from Harold Perkins.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my. Brady Cook just missed a Theo Weiss Jr. wide open for a touchdown. Down the field on a post route. He's going to wish he had that one back, but.
And Jaden Daniels back up and throwing on the sideline.
Yeah, you're going to see. They come off the play action fake. And look at this. Look at Theo Weiss Jr. at the top of the screen. He was wide open down the field. And if Brady Cook just goes out and gives him a 50-50 ball, right? And we say 50-50 ball usually when it's a fade down the sideline. Those posts, those are more like 80-20 balls. He definitely should have thrown.
Drops one off in the right flat. And Luther Burden's got nowhere to go. Boy, this is as good as we have seen the LSU defense look in quite some time. Certainly at any point, probably last week, the game we called against Ole Miss.
Oh, 100%. They are swarming. And who is on the spot? Harold Perkins Jr., the best player on their defense, arguably one of the best defensive players in the country. They really wanted to focus this week on allowing him to play one or two spots, not 3, 4, 5 different spots, to establish where he's going to be, and so the defense can rally to the plays that he's making.
Third down and 13. Cook taken down at the 10-yard line. Mason Smith with the sack. He came awfully close to the face mask. It's a loss of 7. No flag comes out. The officials say no face mask on the play, and here comes the punt crew. Let's see.
Oh, my.
That's a face mask.
Yeah, that's a face mask if I ever seen one. Sometimes having those big old paws can really hurt.
So a punt from the end zone here from Luke Bauer. And it could be terrific field position for LSU. Still down by 5. Good kick. Gregory Clayton lets it bounce over his head. Flag down. And this will roll all the way down inside the 20. It's still moving. Just about gets to the 15-yard line. A 66-yard punt, if it stands. We'll have to check the marker.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 19. The penalty is half the distance from the end of the play. It'll be first down, LSU.
So even worse field position, it turns out.
Wow.
For LSU this season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, Allstate will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. Thank you to Allstate. Down to Chris.
Bob, after leaving the field with an injury, Jaden Daniels spent a little bit of time in the medical tent, but he is going to go back out there, has his helmet on. He told his offensive line that he was hurting in the rib area. Every time I watched him throw while he was down there, he would wince after he threw. Pros offensive line, though, we're going to go out there and do this.
Tough as nails going back in the game.
Tough as nails. And I just want to say, our guy, Rasheed Wallace, used to always say the ball don't lie. They missed that face mask. Now, LSU's backed up all the way in their own territory. But we'll talk about how the ribs can really impact you throwing a football after this play.
Daniels on the move. Flag down. He's out of bounds. At the 7-yard line, flag thrown back behind the line of scrimmage.
It's going to be holding again on the offensive line on that scramble.
Holding, offense, number 77. The penalty is declined. Result of play is a second down. Please reset the game clock to 11 minutes, 13 seconds.
We'll take the play, and it's a loss of a couple of yards. But again, this was the hit that was delivered by Chuck Hicks. The last possession for LSU. And a play that didn't even result in a touchdown because there was a penalty call.
Exactly. When you're playing the quarterback position, it's all about rotation. I don't know if you've ever had a rib injury. As soon as that rib gets bruised, rotating is the absolute last thing you want to do. So Jaden Daniels is showing off his toughness right now, playing through that rib injury.
Second down and 11. Diggs up the middle. Only out to the 9-yard line, where it will be third down and 9. Joseph Charleston made the Missouri tackle. So how about a moment ago, your LSU, you force a punt from the opposite end zone, and now 2 plays later, you're facing third down and 9 inside your own 10-yard line.
Yeah, it's a big moment. Eli Drinkowitz said that they needed to hold them to a field goal on their previous possession. Well, they missed the field goal, so they got it even better. Right here, third and 9, I would once again look for them to try to isolate Malik Neighbors one-on-one with one of the safeties.
Daniels under pressure. He'll take off and run. Gets to the sideline with a stiff arm and a first down. Abrams ran him out. But again, Daniels escapes and picks up 14.
Listen, guys, speed and space always wins the race. As soon as Daniels feels the pressure, he decides to go, and now it's about keeping that ball on your outside arm so you can utilize the stiff arm and still go get that first down for your team. Sometimes as a quarterback, you have to just put the cape on and be Superman, and Jaden Daniels is certainly capable of that.
Daniels rips one over the middle to a wide open Malik Neighbors. He's off and running and still on his feet. Dodging tacklers down to the Missouri 42.
You know, you might want to cover that guy. Watch Daniels work from right to left, go through his reads, and find the seam bender to Malik Neighbors. My gosh, man, just a nice job setting up the DB to get around him, understanding the space and everyone around him. And that's why he's such a special player. It's not just his route running or his hands. It's the run after the catch that really makes him elite.
Daniels flips one. Mason Taylor to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on first down.
And you talk about them being backed up. But when you have offensive firepower like LSU does in 2 plays, you're already in the plus territory going in to try to, obviously they might be in field goal range already or closing in on it, but they're trying to go score a touchdown to put themselves back in the lead.
Jaden Daniels just shy of 300 yards now of total offense. He is number 1 in the SEC, number 2 in America, averaging just over 400 yards of total offense per game. And still with 8 minutes to play. Here comes a blitz. Daniels, he's got a one-on-one shot to take. Can't drop it in. Underthrown just slightly for Neighbors, and Dalen Carnell close enough to get the pass defense.
Bob, I'm telling you right now, this is all because of the rib injury. We have seen him make this same throw 5 times over the past 2 weeks and be right on the money. When you hurt that rib, it's going to hurt you to rotate. Even if you're fighting through the pain, it still limits you.
And that probably was about, what, a 3-foot difference from where he would normally throw it to where he did.
Exactly.
The margin for error, that's pretty slim.
In the game of football, it's a game of inches, and on that one, it was a game of feet.
3rd down and 3. Play clock at 2, down to 1, timeout call.
LSU has called their first short.
Huge 3rd down when we return.
Pat Barry in our college football studio. Oklahoma, Texas had the ball first and goal at the 2. And Oklahoma's defense stopped them on 4 consecutive plays. Sooners now with the ball driving, still up 27-20.
Well, Matt, I hope college football fans had a lot of screens working today as Jaden Daniels, after the LSU timeout, facing 3rd down and 3 at the 35-yard line. Quarterback draw. The C's part. There goes Daniels again. He's looking for the end zone. Touchdown.
Oh, man.
LSU back on top. And will they go for 2? At this point, they should.
I mean, they went light box. They tried to show a bluff blitz and get out. And I'm telling you, Jaden Daniels gets to full speed so fast, you don't even know that he's run by you. You can see him get up a little bit slow after that run. Clearly, if it is his ribs, they are hurting. And every time he gets hit for the rest of this game, you're going to see reactions like that.
Brian Kelly well out on the field, trying to communicate something to the officials as his team lines up for the 2-point play. The play clock is winding down, but they should reset it. And they will reset the play clock. I think Brian Kelly wanted the ball potentially moved slightly. And now LSU set to go. Looking to stretch the lead to 3. Daniels. He's got it. Zips one into a tight window to Neighbors. 7:54 to go, and LSU has the field goal lead.
First, we got Jaden Daniels on the big touchdown run, taking hits for the team. And then the conversion, the 2-pointer to Neighbors to put them up by 3.
Bushes and Robert Griffin III. Chris Button back here in Missouri. Jaden Daniels, 215 through the air, 110 on the ground. Putting together another performance, certainly worthy of being in the Heisman discussion. And today, RG3, he's had to do it hurt.
Yes, he has. You're going to see this hit right here. Might have dislodged one of those wrists, or at least bruised it. He got looked at on the sideline, but then he came back on 3rd and 11 and got this big rushing conversion. I mean, his team had their back against the wall, but that wasn't it. He comes back, makes a nice throw on the seam to Malik Neighbors, and then it was this one when he said, hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished, and he runs for this big touchdown to put LSU back in front, and then he gets the 2-point conversion to put them up by 3. Remember the name, everybody, because Jaden Daniels has game, and he's been showing it off today in a variety of ways, throwing the football, running it, and showing extreme toughness.
Brady Cook looking to answer. There goes Luther Burton down the sideline. Spinning. Inside the LSU 30. Down to the 28. Greg Penn III finally brought him down.
And we were wondering, hey, where's Luther Burton III been in the second half? He said, I'm right here. Just throw it to me. And he's trying to put Mizzou back on top. That's the one way to get it done. Heck of a response by the Tigers.
Cook coming back to make the catch is Mookie Cooper. 2 snaps just like that. First down in the red zone at the 13-yard line as Mizzou looks to answer midway through the 4th.
You know, talking to Eli Drinkwitz and Kirby Moore, they said, you know, we might have to have a couple 4-play drives. Go out and show LSU that we not only can put together 9 and 10-play drives, but we can score fast and in a hurry. And this is a heck of a response from them after what we just witnessed Jaden Daniels do.
Schrader to the 10. Tripped up inside the 5. Looks to be good for a goal to go. First down at the 3. Major Burns saved the touchdown.
Yes, he did. And you're going to see outside zone. Schrader shows off the patience. Oh, it's almost as if that thigh pad was too thick because Major Burns was able to grab it.
They play quick. It pays off. Inside the 1. Schrader turned back. It'll be second down and goal with 6:18 remaining.
How about that? We're talking 4 plays, and they're knocking on the doorstep of taking the lead here.
Strength from Makai Wingo to make that tackle and pull Schrader back away from the goal line.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, Makai Wingo wearing that 18, which is a big number for the LSU Tigers. They need to see more of that from him and from Mason Smith if they're going to start being dominant at the line of scrimmage.
LSU runs some big bodies in defensively. An extra offensive lineman up front for Missouri. Bully ball touchdown. Cody Schrader. Missouri retakes the lead. It's a hat trick for Cody Schrader.
If you're LSU, just when you think, all right, we got some momentum, our quarterback's playing through injury, Mizzou comes out, puts one on you immediately.
And that extra point important as well. It makes it a 4-point lead.
And it's that stretch zone again. You got a back like Cody Schrader, who is a 1-cut back, and you only need 1 yard. This offensive line is working well collectively. Maybe individually, you might be able to get him on a one-on-one here and there. But for Cody Schrader, his ability and his vision, and that offensive line working together, man, they've been unstoppable all day.
Best part of this as well, we're just getting things started on a college football Saturday, as we have our weekend lineup brought to you by Wendy's Beef. And look at some of the games to come. Certainly a headliner tonight in the SEC at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Kentucky taking on #1 Georgia. Notre Dame and Louisville on ABC at 7:30 Eastern as well. Florida State. We'll have Virginia Tech coming up in the next time slot on ABC. Syracuse and North Carolina follow our game at Chapel Hill. And Ole Miss looks to keep it rolling tonight as well.
Yes, they do. Question I have for you, Bob, is you like all natural beef?
Does it come as a galloping shock to look at me and realize I would say yes?
I got nothing for that, Bob.
Yeah, touchback off the kickoff. What better time could there be to go back to Matt Barrett?
Yeah, probably a good time for an interlude for me in studio. Big story, Tez Walk. You know the story the NCAA found, whatever they found this week, to rule him eligible. Great story for North Carolina. They're coming up next on ESPN, taking on Syracuse in Chapel Hill.
All right, Matt, thanks. Bob Wischusen, RG3, Chris Buck, wondering if Jaden Daniels has yet another response in him with this LSU offense. They need it now. Low throw, right at the first down line to gain. Brian Thomas Jr. makes the catch. And let's see, it looks like they'll mark the ball on the 35-yard line. It is a first down.
I love this. We just saw Mizzou run this play a few series ago. They kind of set the pocket, then they escape, making the defense think it's a drop-back pass, but really it's a rollout. And nice job by Jaden Daniels, giving the receiver a catchable ball without putting him in too much of harm's way.
Logan Diggs can't find any room. The door shut right at the line of scrimmage.
You know, a big thing this week for Blake Baker, the defensive coordinator for Mizzou, was trying to find ways to beat LSU on first and second down, right? Prevent them from getting into those 3rd and 3s that they've been so efficient at converting this year. And plays like that, attacking at the line of scrimmage, will certainly make that happen.
Quick to the outside to Brian Thomas. And he is gang tackled. Braden Norwood was there first on Brian Thomas Jr. 5 yards on the down and out. Makes it 3rd down and 5 with 4:13 to go.
So not quite 3rd and 3, but 3rd and 5 is a very manageable down, and the entire playbook is open for Mike Denbrock and Jaden Daniels. Certainly you feel this is 4-down territory with the clock continuing to kick down.
LSU 5 for 10 on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it, but Diggs, or rather Daniels, hopping over tacklers, and there he goes again. Jaden Daniels, boy, he's tougher to bring down than you would think, as slender as he is near the line of scrimmage.
Yes, and look at this hurdle right there. Woo, okay, got to get him on the track team. That looked like a pretty decent hurdle. Brought the trail leg through and everything. Such a deceptive runner. He is fast, but he's also extremely quick, accelerates like that. I liken him a lot to Lamar Jackson in how quickly he can get to top speed, and that's why he's so difficult for defenses to stop.
It's so impressive as well how many arm tackles he's also able to break.
Oh, yeah.
At his size.
He's wiry strong like Kevin Durant.
141 yards rushing for Daniels. He looks to throw here. Out of the pocket. Zips one down the sideline, wide open for an easy walk-in touchdown for Neighbors. Oh, if you're an LSU fan, you wanted the response, and there it is again from Jaden Daniels and this offense.
Yes, it is. They ran a post, and the corner and the safety ended up taking the post, which was Brian Thomas Jr. And there, you might want to cover the best player on their team, Malik Neighbors, but that's what happens when you put 2 dynamic wideouts on the same side of the field. It makes all eyes have to focus on one or the other, and right there, Neighbors was able to sneak in for a touchdown.
Just another example of the potential that LSU has and why they're frustrated at times by their defense. Because outside of the one national championship magical year for Joe Burrow, this is probably the 2nd best offensive performance that LSU has ever had to this point in a season. If their defense can hold up, they are a danger to anyone. It's tonight on ABC and the ESPN app, another big matchup in Louisville. Jack Plummer, 5-0 Louisville will take on Sam Hartman. And number 10 Notre Dame. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific as we take a look at this week's college football rankings brought to you by Goodyear. Texas and Oklahoma deadlocked late. Ohio State finally starting to pull away from Maryland. And some other big ones coming up later on tonight.
Yeah, man. Don't you just love college football? There's just something about it. The fans, the product on the field, and we got ourselves one coming all the way down to the wire with these two teams trying to determine who's going to be the Tiger King.
Fair catch called for and made, so it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Back to Matt.
All right, guys, both noon window games coming down to the end. This just moments ago. Jonathan Brooks, stutter step cut, and then it's all speed. Longhorns tie it 27-all, 6:10 left in the fourth quarter. For the North Carolina-Syracuse crowd looking for Drake May and the Tar Heels. We're going to start this game on the ESPN app, on ESPN Plus, and then we will move it here to ESPN at the conclusion of LSU, Missouri.
So the Red River rivalry going right down to the end. Here's Theo Weiss. Breaking tackles. Weiss with a stiff arm to midfield. LSU tried to rip the ball out, and they couldn't get Theo Weiss Jr. down as Sage Ryan missed an opportunity for a tackle.
Number one mistake that defenders make. Get the guy on the ground. Don't try to just strip the ball and let him keep running. Theo Weiss Jr., they do a little eye candy there, get it to him in space, and it pays off.
Cook, rifle shot, close to a first down. Mookie Cooper picks up 9. Wrestled down by Zy Alexander.
How reliable has Mookie Cooper been, man? All day just doing the right thing. When the ball comes his way, making plays on it, just helping this offense stay in rhythm and ahead of the chains.
LSU still with 2 timeouts. Missouri has all 3 as we come up on 2 minutes to go. Cook, that slant, batted down at the line. Mason Smith knocks it down to make it 3rd down and 1.5 yards. For Mizzou.
Bob, I brought up earlier for the second half, I would have these guys play man coverage as we see Brady Cook make this throw. Nice job knocking the football down by Mason Smith. If you can't get to the QB, I always say, put your hands up, start playing volleyball. But they had man coverage across the board there. And if they really want to go for the jugular, they need to attack those off of the leverage of the middle safety. My, oh my, Theo Weiss Jr. had a one-on-one down to the bottom of the screen that I think they should have exploited.
This might be a false start. The snap came early, and no one else seemed to move. So this will change the play call and maybe the whole personnel group.
Offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Yeah, Eli Drinkwitz is now going to put Luther Burden back in the game and take those extra offensive linemen off the field for 3rd down and 6.
Normally when you see those extra offensive linemen, it's a little bit of a tell that it's going to be a run play. But in this situation, getting pushed back a little bit. I wouldn't say they'd shy away from running it here on 3rd and 6, but if you're going to have any element of a pass concept, you want your best player on the field.
Each team with 11 accepted penalties today. Cook, blindside pressure coming, and the ball comes out. All the way back to the 30-yard line, it's loose. A scramble for it. Missouri may have gotten it back, but a huge loss. Braden Swinson was there to strip it away from Brady Cook. And now with 1:34 to go and the clock rolling.
Oh, my Lord. This is why the blindside blockers are so important. Brady Cook doesn't ever see Braden Swinson coming around, and then it's a mad dash to get that football. They're lucky they got it back. But now,
Missouri is going to go for this, and that's surprising.
Oh, wow.
They have all 3 timeouts. So LSU uses a timeout, which now on 4th and 32 gives Eli Drinkwitz a chance, kind of a bailout by LSU to rethink things. So what do you think is the higher percentage here? Trying to convert on 4th and 32 or punt it and use your timeouts to try and get a 3-and-out.
Conventional wisdom would tell you, punt the ball back to LSU, try to stop them, use your 3 timeouts to get the ball back. But in this situation, they might feel like going for it here on 4th and 32, and maybe they don't get it. Maybe there's a chance they can hold LSU to a field goal, and they might be not as aggressive if they're already on their own side of the field. I would say punt it away, play defense, and you got to trust. I mean, I know Jaden Daniels has been carving up their defense this entire second half, but you got to play the percentages in football, and that would mean punt the ball.
Even given an opportunity to second-guess the decision, Missouri will stay with their offense on the field on 4th down and 32.
There's just not very many plays for 4th and 32, let alone at this point, at this stage in the game.
Here comes a blitz. Cook throws it over the middle. It's a hook and ladder. DeOease lowers his shoulder, and he's not going to come anywhere near picking up the first down. It is a turnover on downs at midfield with 1:06 to go. So now for Missouri, they surrender potentially a fair amount of field position here, but still in the same position. You have to get a 3-and-out and use your timeouts. One first down for LSU ends the game.
They go for the hook and ladder, but DeOease Jr. decides, I'm just going to get vertical, so that didn't quite work out. Everyone's going to second-guess that decision, and I'm right there with them. I know you want to be aggressive, and I know the analytics has to say pump that ball away, but that's the decision that Drinkwitz made, and now they've got to live with it, and their defense has to come up big for them here.
.106 remaining. Again, Missouri has all 3 timeouts, but they must force a 3-and-out to give their offense one more chance. Logan Diggs stopped after a gain of 2, and there's timeout number 1.
And here's the thing, Bob. In these situations, most offenses will go to a run-centric theme. They're going to run the football, force you to use your timeouts, but they've given up 276 rushing yards today. So you're kind of telling LSU, hey, do the thing that's been working. Do the thing that you've been carving us up all day with, and walk out of here with a victory.
Now, you mentioned analytics, and I would just go back to what the simple percentages of success are on 4th down and 32.
What do you think those are?
It has to be a 2% type play, maybe less than 2% success rate. And so what do you have a better chance of accomplishing? You have better than a 2% chance of punting, using your timeouts, and getting a 3-and-out, and not surrendering like plus territory field position.
Correct. Here. So I did the numbers. Beep, boop, beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop. Yeah, it's higher to punt the ball away and try to have your defense get the ball back for you.
Oh, they got the job done on 1st down. As it's 2nd down and 8. And now they need 2 more stops. Same formation for LSU, as they've got Logan Diggs to the right of Daniels. Mason Taylor in motion. Losing the football is Daniels, and he jumps on top. A negative play for LSU. And the timeout called as Darius Robinson knocked it out. Oh, that changes everything for Missouri. Now it's 3rd down and long.
Holy cow. You come out of this, the most important thing is ball security. And Jaden Daniels, luckily for LSU, he was right there to get on top of that one. But you're 100% right now, Bob. This 3rd down, biggest 3rd down of the game, and now they're in a situation where it's 3rd and 19. You don't risk throwing the football here because you want to force Missouri to use that last timeout. But now you're putting yourself in a position where with a stop here, Missouri's going to have an opportunity to go down and tie the game.
Yeah, to your point earlier, the way LSU was running the football, you would have given them probably a better than 50-50 chance of getting a 1st down with their ground game. Now, a 2-yard gain on 1st down, an 11-yard loss on 2nd down, and now it's 3rd down and 19.
Well, you can see there's one-on-one matchups on the outside. Do they attack that or hand it off?
Aiden Daniels will hand one off. Diggs across midfield. He got back the yardage from the loss on the last play, but now the last timeout will be called. And now you've got 53 seconds on the clock. Missouri will be out of timeouts, but they're about to get one last crack at it. So the decision by Eli Drinkwitz to go for it on 4th down and a mile still turns out to be at least stood up by his defense. He's going to get one more try.
100%. I mean, I'm looking at the camera right now. Listen, guys, I don't know what Eli's been drinking, but it worked. His decision to go for it worked, and his defense apparently bailed him out on that 4th and 32. And what I would say is now for this drive, when they get the football back, you got to do everything in your power to either isolate Brady Cook and get him some running opportunities or get the football to Luther Burden III. You can never go to him too much. And now we're in for, honestly, a classic finish.
Well, and the drama of all of this as well is that we said it during our open. There is no unit in college football this week that was probably under more pressure to flip the script than LSU's defense.
There you go.
And LSU's defense is going to be on the field trying to secure this win. Where will the field position be from? As Bramblett gets away the punt. And this one will sail all the way down, out of bounds near the pylon. Where did it cross the line? Ooh. Oh, what a great punt by Bramblett. Jay Bramblett knocks it out of bounds inside the 5. So 45 seconds to go in the 4th quarter.
What a
There have been plenty of points in the 4th quarter, but one more try for Missouri.
Yeah, there have been a bunch of points, and you see Jaden Daniels on this big touchdown run that looked like it might change the game, but Mizzou came back and answered with their own run from Cody Schrader. And then here, wide open, Malik Neighbors. You might want to cover that guy. They didn't do it. LSU is on top by 3, and now we didn't think that Mizzou would get the football back, but they do, and they have a tall task to drive the entire length of the field.
No timeouts. Long throw for Weiss on 1st down, incomplete from Brady Cook.
So we got 41 seconds here. College football rules, clock's going to stop after the 1st down. So really, you have the entire playbook still open for you. It's not like the NFL where it's going to keep running down unless you get out of bounds. So that is honestly an advantage, and it's why we have so many great finishes in the college football game.
Perkins creeps up near the line, showing blitz. Cook still looking over. Missouri still trying to get set from the end zone. Cook throws one. It's intercepted. House call for Major Burns. And LSU is going to escape Columbia with a win. Major Burns taking a lap in front of what is for the first time today, a quiet student section.
Oh, wow. Bob, you said it. More pressure on any unit than any unit in the country. LSU's defense. And they're the reason they don't lose 3 games in 3 weeks. Holy moly. Can't wait to show you guys that replay of that play.
And again, Brady Cook came into today and extended the SEC record for most consecutive passes attempted without throwing an interception, and LSU gets him twice today.
So you're going to see Burns is going to be to the right of your screen, right here. And he's got his eyes not on the receiver that's coming into his area, but on the quarterback to read his eyes. And he sets that thirst trap, and then he makes the play. And his name is Major Burns, but to all Mizzou fans, they might as well call him Major Pain because he's got them hurting and putting them at 5-1 on the year. Major Burns might have just saved LSU's season.
And it's hard, I'm sure, to give up 39 points and still feel good about what you accomplished defensively. But if you watch this game from the start, you saw the LSU defense come out and looked like the same defense that we saw last week against Ole Miss. Getting shredded, giving up touchdowns on the first 3 possessions of the day for Mizzou. But they bounced back in the second half and got some big stops, looked like a different group. And Major Burns, that's the cherry on top.
Yes, they did. And Bob, I said it right before the half. That interception by Harold Perkins Jr., it could have a snowball effect for this LSU defense. And that's exactly what it did. They still gave up too many points when you look at the totality of the game, but the way they came back in the second half, I know made a bunch of LSU Tiger alumni very proud.
Marquise Johnson with a flag down on the kickoff return. Only 28 seconds to go. And now Missouri's got the ball, but they're down by 2 scores.
You know, when we talked to Brian Kelly this week, he said the mission is to win the division, right? Be 1-0 each week because, yeah, things aren't going great, and we got to get back to playing our standard on defense.
There's no foul in the play. First down, Missouri.
We got to get back to playing our standard on defense, but all we can do is focus on what we can control. And you mentioned it earlier, Bob. There could be a 2-loss team that wins the SEC West or the SEC in totality, and LSU has, honestly, in my opinion, an SEC championship level offense, a national championship level offense. Got to get their defense to catch back up to it.
So Brady Cook heaves one down the sideline. That's a terrific catch made by the freshman Marquise Johnson, and he got a foot down inbounds at the LSU 38-yard line.
I mean, look at him locate the ball, get the foot in. Wow.
Beats Cy Alexander for 31 yards, but only 21 seconds to go. Deep shot for Theo Weiss. He was tied up.
Season is over, guys. You're 5-1. You start the season 5-0. You showed that you can compete with the top level of this conference, which I do think that many people still believe LSU has that capability, even though they'll be 4-2 after this game. Use this as a learning experience and try to build off of it. Brady Cook shouldn't hold his head either. He played well today, had 2 catastrophic mistakes that truly set this team back, but the season is still looking up for them.
That one sails out of bounds as well. Intended for Johnson with 11 seconds to go.
So I guess it seems that they won't be burning down the Capitol in Baton Rouge. Coming away with this victory, it's going to relieve a lot of heat and pressure.
Yep. A road win against an undefeated ranked opponent. And there's another drop for Tyler Stevens with 8 seconds to go. And that will make it 4th down. But you're right, if you are, it's almost like the NFL and the SEC. A one-loss team can't be as devastated as you might be elsewhere in college football by losing a big conference game, because teams in this league seems like are going to lose games.
And because of the value that is added to being in the SEC, it's the reason why LSU is ranked with 2 losses, and now they're going to climb in the rankings again after beating Mizzou.
Well, they need a miracle. They need 2 scores. They're going to let Meebus go out and try a long field goal, and he can't connect. And now with 3 seconds to go, it will be victory formation for LSU, and they will win this game 49-39. So what is ahead for LSU? Back-to-back games at home, with the game against Army sandwiched in the middle of 3 more conference games. Auburn comes to Death Valley next week, and then at Alabama on November 4th. Florida and Texas A&M unranked to this point as well. Both of those games at home.
Yep. You know,
they buy themselves another week to try and get the defense to play better.
There you go. That's exactly what this was about. Obviously, you want to get the win, but now the defense can come together for them. I talked about earlier in the broadcast how they needed to earn their stripes. They earned them today. The defense certainly earned them in the second half. You don't want to see 39 points on the board, but they showed who the true Tiger King is in the SEC right now, and it is the LSU Tigers.
Well, if you're Brian Kelly, it's hard to imagine it's not going to be at least glass half full with this win. Let's go down to Chris Button.
Coach, you're on the other end of the barn burner this time. Your defense made some stops and turnovers when they needed to. How'd you get it done today?
Just a lot of resolve. We got a lot of young guys out here competing, and I'm just so proud of them. It's a tough environment coming on the road in the SEC, sold out crowd. They made it homecoming. I obviously didn't think, obviously from our perspective, playing 4 out of 6, on the road. It's a tough run our guys have been on. I'm just so proud of the way they competed defensively. They fixed a lot of things, and now we got to fix a few more things, but that quarterback's pretty good for LSU.
Yeah, your quarterback takes that hit. He basically wills his team down the field, looking like it was a struggle with the injury. What did he show you today? He's got a heart of a champion, and you don't get many chances to coach a guy like that. And I'm just so happy that I got an opportunity to have him on my team, and then find a way to keep the points down when you got a player like that. I appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
49-39 is your final. Brian Kelly and LSU head back to Baton Rouge with a road win. For Robert Griffin III and Chris Button, I'm Bob Wischusen. Thanks so much for joining us here at Columbia. Time to head back to the studio. Joey Galloway, Dan Mullen, and Matt.
All right, shout out to the fan. Appreciate y'all being in live stream, man, on that one, man. LSU gets the dub in dramatic fashion. As usual, man, we got it. We made it work. It was quite the thrilling game down the line. LSU ultimately pulls it out on the road. The defense struggled in the first half of the game, but fortunately for us, they were able to get it together. In the second half of the game, we had a couple of interceptions that occurred to kind of flip it. LSU defense still nowhere where they're supposed to be, but a lot more guts in the second half to seal the deal. They gave up a lot of points in this one, but they closed the door. Major burns with them burning of the Missouri Tigers on the back end, getting the pick 6, closing the door. And shout out to Jaden Daniels. If it wasn't for Jaden Daniels, where would LSU be indeed, man? So listen, man, this was a terrific win for our Tigers, man. And let's just get into some of the team statistics in the matchup, fam. It was pretty interesting game, man. It was looking pretty bad, but LSU scored 22 points in the second half. Would this be a trend here? That's the thing that we're looking at. Could this possibly be a trend for our LSU Tigers defense to maybe get it together? Because they allowed 14 points in the second half while LSU put on 32 points. They really turned it up in the second half of this game, became a different team. They scored 32 points, 22 of them in the fourth quarter, while the defense held the Tigers in the second half to just 2 touchdowns versus the 35 points they put up in the first half. So whatever happened during the halftime kind of flipped things in LSU's favor. The defense stepped up and made some plays, while the offense and Jaden Daniels was able to get out of that thing. So anyway, we're gonna have to see what Jaden Daniels, what he's dealing with that issue. But what a heart of a champion that you heard, like Coach Kelly was saying. Third down in the matchup, LSU 6 of 12 for 50% versus the Tigers, Missouri Tigers. That is 4 of 11. They're 1 on 2 on fourth down. Total yards 533 versus 527. Advantage LSU. You see the passing stats, 259 to 411. You look at the rushing statistics. LSU had 274 rushing yards. That was mainly a lot of that Logan Diggs and Jaden Daniels together. A real potent combo, 6.4 yards per rush versus 116 by Missouri. 12 penalties. LSU overcame 12 penalties for 88 yards to get the victory on the road versus 10 for 57. 2 turnovers there on Missouri in the time of possession for LSU's 32-26 to 27-34. So this was, the part of the game that we look at with LSU earning that victory. Jaden was 15 of 21 in the game for 259, very respectable. He averaged over 12 yards per completion. So every time he threw the ball, it was a first down. He had 3 touchdowns in this game and 0 picks. Garrett Nussmeier did come in the portions of the game when Jaden Daniels wasn't there. He was 0 for 2 in his quick stead, and then they got him out of there, put Jaden Daniels in there, and it was just terrific. Logan Diggs, 24 carries for $134. He had a touchdown and averaged well over 5 yards per carry. Jaden Daniels, 15 carries for 130 yards. He averaged almost 9 yards per carry and 1 touchdown. So it's a credit to not just Jaden Daniels' scrambling ability or his rushing ability, really the offensive line for LSU. This game really did a better job because you see what Logan Diggs was able to do. You seen what Josh Williams even had 2 carries for 10 yards. He averaged 5 yards per carry. And of course, you look at Malik Neighbors, 6 catches for 146 in the touchdown. Brian Thomas, 4 catches for 66 yards in the score. Mason Taylor, the tight end, 4 catches for 27 and a score for them. So, and then of course you look at a lot of the plays that happened. Major Burns had a pick, so did Harold Perkins. And Burns not only got a pick, but he got a pick 6. He returned it to the house to close the door. The kicker was 2 of 3 in the matchup. So in the end, LSU did everything it was supposed to do to get the victory in the game. So, but we still have to see exactly what's going on with Jaden Daniels. I don't know what's going on with Jaden Daniels in terms of his health. We probably have to figure that out because that's going to be determining the factor of what he looks like next week in the upcoming matchup. So it was a pretty interesting game, to be honest with you. And we just have to watch out. Yeah, and listen, man, like I said, Jaden Daniels, just with everything that was going on, he really put on a hell of a performance today. Really something to be proud of when you watch what Jaden Daniels was able to do with LSU, man, today in the game. I mean, he put up a hell of a performance. He ran the ball all over, and if it wasn't for his contribution, where would we be? And the team improved. So they improved after the victory right there. And they beat a tough Missouri team. This Missouri team coming into this thing was 5-0. They were a pretty balanced team in the SEC East, and they were ranked a few spots ahead of LSU. And LSU went up to Columbia and were able to beat that team. Credit to LSU. I don't know if this sparks anything, but in the end, I like I said, I don't know exactly if this sparks anything, but we'll just have to see exactly what goes on with this. But yeah, I'm very concerned about which direction Jaden Daniels or what he's going to be looking like coming up here soon. So yeah, so let's get into the next matchup, man, against Auburn to kind of look at that. LSU comes back home against they improved to 4-2 on the season. They hadn't updated it right now against another Tiger team. So in back-to-back weeks, we play the Missouri Tigers, then we have the Auburn Tigers coming up match next week in Death Valley. It'll be to be determined when this will be. Hopefully it won't be an 11 o'clock game or probably at nighttime under the lights. We'll see. Thorne, their quarterback, has 59-94 for 643, 4 touchdowns and 4 picks. Jaden Daniels on the season looking really good, 117 to 116, 17-10. I don't know if they added the stats from this game. Look like they didn't update it quite yet, so these stats might be a little bit behind. Their top running back is Hunter versus Diggs is doing a really terrific job. Fair is the receiver, 18 catches for 196. Our guy is Neighbors tearing it up for 40 grabs for 625, 5 touchdowns. On him and Thomas on their way to having terrific seasons in the country, and it's pretty good. So you see all of the yardage LSU accumulates 551.4 total, 353.4 through the air, running at 198 yards flat. And of course, Auburn 358.2 versus 156.2. They kind of struggle to throw the ball. They rush at it about 200 something odd yards per contest. We can't let that go. The defense gives up 429, or what LSU does, 429.4 versus 260.2. And of course, you see 169.2 of what LSU gives up on the ground. We got to kind of round that thing out, get this defense to play better. Starting early, they were really shaky. Confidence issues, you can see 322.8 is what they're allowing. Auburn is 194.2 versus 128.6 on the ground. So this will be the next matchup for our Tigers as we take on the Auburn Tigers. They come down here, and LSU will have an opportunity to kind of get to 5-2 against this club. But anyway, after a really tough loss to Ole Miss, they respond in kind by having a good matchup. They were able to beat the Missouri Tigers in Missouri 49-39 behind a gutsy performance by Jaden Daniels and the LSU rushing attack, including the defense even stepped up in the second half after a disastrous start in the first half. They had several picks and then one pick six to close the door. So hopefully this will be something that LSU could do to move themselves in the right position in terms of the defense. And then, of course, you look at the overall recognized LSU is now positioned currently third in the West at 4-2 and 3-1 in conference play. So with that being said, we're going to get ready to get out on that. Shout out to you guys for being on the stream. Big ups to everybody. It was a very good game, man. We were able to go and make the matchup work, and they improved. So with that being said, we're going to get out on that. Shout out to the fan. Appreciate each and every last one of y'all. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we're going to peep you later on the next episode of Tough Tiger Talk. Peace. Go Tigers.
Subscribe to the Tough Tiger Talk channel and stay up to date for all things LSU football.